Hi everyone. I know it's like a little bit before 10. I mean, it's like a minute before 10. A few seconds. Anyway, I was just like, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's just do this because we have loads to go over. Good morning, Dawn. All right. So first things first, if you were a member, the new coloring page download is available. So it's a little mushroom lighthouse. You guys know I love my fairy houses. Anyway, so if you are a member or a Instagram subscriber, these are available for you over there. If you are not and would like the page, that's how you can get that one. But if a lighthouse is not your thing and you're looking for something a little bit more fall, I also have this page down up in the Etsy store. It's a little fairy pumpkin village. I don't know why, but I love this flower. Anyway, I have plans to color this one. There just hasn't been time yet. Partially also because I was finally attempting to get caught up on this one. Hang on, I want to make sure this is not too loud. There we go. Anyway, but yeah, so I was trying to get caught up on this one because there just straight up has not been time. I haven't finished the border yet, but I did get the trees on the other side. Hi, Tina. So yeah, we're going to be working on that today. Hi, Natalie. We're going to be working on that today. The other thing is along with, oh, thank you. This page being in the Etsy shop now, we also have some prints and some original art that is also new up in the shop. Some of them are already gone. In fact, we only have one of the prints for this one left. So we had a few of these, but we got one left. So we have an 8x10 print of the library, the little fairy book nook there. We have 4 of the small ones left, and I am marking them for 1 out of 4 or 1 out of what, or 2 out of whatever else, because I'm not planning on ordering more of these prints. So once they're gone, they're gone. But also there is the original art available. Also, this is the actual one that I painted with gouache. These are the prints. Honestly, like, the quality of these prints blows my mind. I get them from the Stackhouse Printery, and if I didn't know better, because the way that gouache dries, there's not like thick layers on top or anything, but like short of a slight color difference. Hi, Ananta. Hi, Kim. You almost can't tell the difference between these two, short of this one is the actual original, but the prints are fabulous. So there's 1 more of those left, 4 of the smaller ones. There's also still a few prints left for the seashell one. I had reordered them at one point when the other ones got sold out. So we have 2 more of the seashell one. It's got a sheet of paper over here protecting it. 2 more of the seashell one and 2 mediums of the seashell one. And if you don't know which ones those are, so whoop, that's the original right back there. It was originally an 11x14 that I finished for a festival. Anyway, but if you are in the mood for some original artwork or prints of set artwork, right? A little bit. The link for my Etsy store is pinned up at the top, so feel free to take a look at that. Like I said, I only have 1 of the 8x10 of the print left, but like I said, once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not planning on reprinting it, and then I'll work on something new. Let's see. Oh, plan. Hang on. You told me. Is it Jennifer? Or am I not remembering that right? I need a sticky note. And the funny thing is, when I very first started streaming, even the people that have been around for ages, I had to make myself a list until I remembered everyone's names. So remind me again. And I'll put that on a sticky note and I'll remember that for next time. Hi, Britt. Thank you. No, it's been really nice. Like, I've been getting a lot of good feedback on it, and it's definitely been a fun experience for sure. Hi, Kara. Let's see. D, hello. Thank you, Kim. It's fine. It's fine. No, because some of them, like Angela, one of my mods, she goes by True Hue, but sometimes people don't want to go by their first name, but otherwise, and if they want to, go by their screen name or first name, I like to try and remember. So remind me again. Was it Jennifer or was I wrong? Anyway, I'm going to write it down and you're going to be on my sticky note wall. Oh, she said Jen up there. Okay. Oh, there it is. You did. But hey, I remembered. I'm so proud of my memory. Thanks, Dee. Anyway, so let's see. Is that it for announcements? I know there weren't, just if you missed it, we have a new coloring page up in the Etsy store as well. And if you're a member, the coloring page for this month is also released. So the members download, oh, good. Thank you. Members download is the Mushroom Lighthouse. And then we have a new kind of fall pumpkin fairy village thing available in the Etsy store. So lots of updates this week, which is why I was so surprised I was able to actually find some time to get caught up on the page, because we like had this whole thing with little Emily's schedule, and like I had to go down to the school and like figure things out. Anyway, it has been a chaotic week all week, and I was just like, I need to make more progress. No, you don't. Well, I mean, you're posting a finished page, right? Not like a blank page. If it's a blank page and you're about to say like, oh, I'm going to color this one, as a general rule of thumb, if it's a blank page, you put like a pencil, like something to cover it. Like right now, this is colored, so that axe is kind of covering it. But if it's just a finished page, no. I mean, you can use the hashtag and everything, but I think if she had a tag from every person that posted it, her phone would never stop giving her notifications. So 1 second. Okay, sorry, just had to clear my throat a little bit. But yeah, if it's a finished page, you don't need permission. Just, you know, hashtag or in the comments, let people know, you know, what book it was from or whatever else. I usually do, if I don't put it in the description, I'll put it in the hashtags, you know, hashtag Johanna Bassford, hashtag Enchanted Forest, etc., etc. But yeah. Hi, Marcy. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, I plan to color that one too. As soon as I get some time, I want to do it, you know, for the fall vibes. But anyway, yeah, so I caught up on this page over here. And I know we were working on the, hang on one second, clear my throat. 1 second. Okay, that was muted, right? Wouldn't be the first time that I hit the wrong button. Anyway. I'm getting over a little bit of something here, so I just need to clear my throat. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. What was I saying? I got distracted. Oh, I remember. Okay. So when we worked on this last time, like we've been slowly chipping away at the leaves and the flowers, and we're going to go back to them because obviously the page isn't done yet. I want to finish the whole page on stream. So, but I thought what we could do for today is I actually want to start working on the background behind the owl. And part of that is because we're going to, the image that I have in my head, I want to break the frame. We're going to do clouds. I'm going to eliminate the stars. Because when I see stars, like I immediately want to do like a night sky or a galaxy sky, which could work, but I had something else kind of in mind. I want to do clouds. So we're going to use some of our white gouache, and did I get some? I need to get some fresh water. I should have grabbed that before I started. But we are going to get some of the permanent white gouache, as you all know how much I love. I don't want to do the little container I have because I don't want to have to rehydrate the paint. I want to have it nice and fresh. So I've got this little paint palette over here. See, we still got some paint on here from the last time I did something, but we're going to add some fresh white. And then let's see. We're going to color the stars first, but I'm not going to break the frame yet until we get our, I did not laminate this page though. Oh, but that reminds me, I'm going to take out my headphones here so I can maneuver a little bit. That reminds me, I did remember to grab some of my older ones. I know we had talked about it a little bit. Here, we're going to move this real quick. We had talked about it a little bit, and I remembered the other day, I was like, oh, I need to get these out for the thing. So we talked about like some of the older pages, and I had mentioned that I did the double page spread of the dragon twice, actually. But you remember how we were talking about French grays, cool grays, and warm grays? This was the one that I did. When did I do this? I did this in, it was early days. maybe 2000, it was 2015 or 2016. But yeah, so this was the second dragon that I did. The Facebook group that I was in at the time, we had like monthly competitions, which I think a lot of Facebook groups still do that, where you get to be like the banner cover photo or whatever else. This one didn't win that month, but do I have the red and green one? The first dragon that I did won it. I guess it's not in this pile. I've got it. I have a bunch of them. But yeah, these were all with the Prismacolor grays. So that was that 2-page dragon there. We'll pull out these ones. I had a great print shop that would print things off for me. Oh, thanks. They would print things off for me, and I like to get them in this like 120-pound, super thick cardstock. So Johanna a lot of times will have contests before new books come out. And so, you know me, I like to go extra with my artwork. So I would get them printed out really big. And in fact, I would laminate them like these ones. And some older pictures of my like coloring corner, this was pretty much my wallpaper. Like I hung them all up. So this was one of the larger, obviously, what was this? Ivy and Inky Butterfly, I think what that was from. And then we had a whale. Oh, see, there's another butterfly. I printed it really big. Pretty sure that one was Ergosoft. Let's see. Okay, the whales. So 1 whale, 2 whale, 3 whale. So that was the Lost Ocean release. It was the whale for the contest. And then this one was Magical Jungle. So this one was another, the whales from Lost Ocean. Oh, the size on these? What were these? Where's my ruler? I don't know where my ruler's at. I want to say 18 by 24. I think. That might not be quite right. Big. It's big. Here, in comparison, you know, her books are 10 by 10. So this is the Magical Worlds book. Actually, do I have... Oh, no, I'm thinking Magical Jungle. Anyway, but yeah, so this is it in comparison to the book. So yeah, I took it to a print shop. Yeah, it was a local print shop. I know sometimes when you take images to like Office Depot or something, there's like some copyright issues. Right? Yeah, and then I would just... Yeah, I would put them up on the wall, and like I said, I used them as wallpaper. And I haven't had, like, because these were hung up on the wall, I didn't have too many, like, color changes either. So you guys know I talked about the puzzles that she has. So this was one of the puzzle images that I scanned in and then printed really big. And so, yeah, it's a combination of... I think this background was secret. Well, maybe it's just all Enchanted Forest. Anyway, this was another dragonfly. Oh, that might be it. 13 by 19. That sounds right. Why are none of my... Oh, it was tucked in here. I've started working on the kids' Halloween costumes, so my whole space over here is chaos incarnate. Let's see. This is 11.5 by 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 11.5 by 16 is what it is. I want to say that the paper itself was a little bit bigger because the print shop that I went to, they couldn't print it right to the edge. Like it had to have a border on things. And then like I would trim it when I got home. I also used their laminator. The ones that are big like this, you know, they've got the big laminating sheet machines. So I would take it down there and I would have them laminated afterwards also. Not like I dated these or anything. So here's the thing, and you guys might cringe at this. Okay, so you see this? I had no respect for what I was doing, and I would staple them directly to the wall, and I was not careful when we moved. Don't even start. They're printed on art paper or regular paper. So those other bigger ones, it wasn't necessarily art paper, but I just chose the biggest, thickest cardstock that they carried. Shade the mushrooms, distress oxide, tried spraying water for special. Oh no! Yeah, just roll with it. It's all good. Let's see, another Hannah Carlson. So these ones aren't laminated. These are just finished ones. Hannah Carlson, Kirby Roseanne's. We did this one on stream. I don't believe we did this one on stream. Another Kirby. We did that one on stream. I think we did that one on stream. Another Kirby. Oh, well, that didn't bother me at all. We lived in an apartment. They were really old apartments at the time, and staples leave teeny tiny holes. I will say, though, when we moved out of said apartment, the process of removing, because we did have to remove the staples. Oh my God, was that a pain in the butt. I don't think so. I don't have any Hannah books coming down the pipeline. Just because usually we order them from overseas, and I have a good number of books of stuff that she still does. Realizing I never finished that Tentacle or Frond. What did we do? We did. Looks like we did watercolor. Yeah, I think we did watercolor pencil on these ones. Okay, so that was from the Lost Ocean Artist Edition. Pretty sure we did this one on stream. This is Magical Jungle. This one was one of the first ones that I did, and it was really funny. I don't know if I still have the link for it at all. I had it on my website for a while. At some point, there was somebody that made an article about the adult coloring trend, and they pulled a bunch of coloring pages from online, and this is one of them. And I didn't know they had used my image in the article until someone messaged me, and I was like, oh, okay. But this is one of the very first ones that I did. Another dragonfly. I'm telling you, I think this dragonfly was probably my favorite, though. I've done a lot of the dragonflies. This one we did on stream. This was the Enchanted Forest Artist Edition. This was pre-streaming, I believe. We might have done. I know I added all of the bricks and everything, but this one's laminated. So as the Artist Edition of Secret Garden. Let's see, turn it. There you go. Secret Garden again. Yeah, I will, because I can kind of remember what it is I remember where I was at when I did it. Because when we lived in our apartment, when I first started coloring, my desk was in our very tiny living room. No. First it was the table, then the desk, then eventually we rearranged our bedroom to fit the desk in there. And that's where I did everything until we moved to the house. And then, of course, we moved here. But looks like I only colored that one. Then this was another Lost Ocean one that I printed out. This was for another one of the contests. Like you can see the staple holes. It is what it is. Honestly, they live in a box now, so it's not like super glamorous or anything. Another one of the contests. So we've got the polar bears. I believe we did this one. We might have done this one on stream, or at least partially. This one was with Ergo Softs. Then we've got this octopus. I think that was on stream. I'm trying to remember. I know we did a octopus on stream. Like I said, and not all of these were laminated. For the most part, they live, like I said, they live in a box. Okay, so this one was World of Flowers. World of Flowers. Anytime I do something with like a warm, like red or orange or yellow background, the camera always tries to overcompensate and is never the right color when I take a picture. It drives me batty. So you see somebody flip through of ocean books before buying, but I'm pretty sure Lost Ocean is the best to color marine life. Absolutely. The only thing with Lost Ocean that people didn't really like is the details are super tiny, but that's why the artist edition of Lost Ocean was really nice. World of Flowers, I think. Another Lost Ocean. I was very into adding things to pages. So this is Secret Garden, and I added what was that, Linus? Welcome, Great Pumpkin. So I added that little guy and the pumpkins. And then obviously the nighttime background on that one. This was my first completed, hi Kenny, completed page in Magical Jungle. Right, the Great Pumpkin. We have our little Froggo here. And these are directly from the book. These were not printed, but I did get them laminated afterwards. So this is my first frog. So like if you look in my original books that I had, there are pages cut out, and that's because this is where they ended up. Was laminated and all the wall. And then we have Johanna's Christmas. This was another one that was difficult to photograph. I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones that definitely had some wax bloom issues from early Prismacolors. Pretty sure I did this one while I was recovering from my tonsillectomy. Random memories, right? So cute. And we have another Enchanted Forest. I remember doing this one, but I don't remember if there was anything significant. This one was on stream. Do you ever postcards? I do. She's got postcards and note cards and all the cards. She also, I don't know if you guys saw, but she posted there's new little cards coming out if you want to pre-order them. Sun just came out. We're going to turn that down a little bit. I feel like we did this one on stream. Got a Christmas one. Oh, look, another whale. I think I've done a few of these whales. Loved this one. I'm pretty sure this was a battle between Inktense and... Yeah, so I did Inktense, but I only activated one side. There we go. Yeah, but I only activated one side. See that? Sure we got the right focus. Okay. Let's see. And there's more. These were just, do you scan them in your PC now? For these ones? No, because I took pictures of them. I've got a nice camera to do pictures of them, but honestly, I haven't taken a page out of a book in years. Unless there was a specific reason, I haven't really cut, well, all of that to say, we did cut this one out, but you know, I wanted to be able to lay it flat. But as far as like this style, I haven't cut one out in a while. And most of the time I will just like, if it's printable. So the only ones I ever really scanned in and printed were the ones from the puzzles because they were foldouts and I wanted to eliminate the crease and make them a little bit bigger. World of Flowers, I believe. Ooh, we did this one on stream. And then that's from the Christmas one. This, pretty sure this one was our very first live stream image. Didn't I? Yeah, I almost messed up this pot because I used the wrong, I used a marker or something on it. Anyway, I was able to fix it. But this was our very first, the puzzle ones. I mean, they're right back. I don't know if we're in frame form or not. Yeah, they're just below, but we've shown them before. I do have all of them now because I had given my mom the Lost Ocean one as a gift, but they were downsizing and I was just like, I'll take it. So I've got the full collection now. I haven't finished all of their pages yet. What paper do you use? I bought some of the Nina cardstock and absorbs water so bad. Which Nina cardstock did you get? So I like the Nina Classic Crest. It's a little bit more spendy than the other ones, but I try to save it for like my wet mediums. I really like markered on that paper. I think I have a link for it in the description. But there's a few of the different Nina ones. Might have been the first stream I was ever in that. Wasn't a joint stream. Yeah, possibly. Oh, I miss doing joint streams with Belinda. This was a stream one. This was a live stream one we did together. This was my first one. Go figure. They're right next to each other. This was my first one that I completed on this one, and then this was the one we did together on stream. So, hi, Una. Oh, yeah, I don't have too many of those finished, to be honest. The one with the dragonfly is really the only finished one. I'll have to find them. I should have... trying to think. It's been a long time since I've done this. This one was an experiment because I realized that if you have a black light, neon stuff glows. Let's see, do I have a black light here right now? Or UV light? No, I just have a regular flashlight. But a lot of your neon pencils and markers and stuff, they will glow under a black light. Rooms of Wonder. We did this one on stream. This was a collaboration with Johanna and Google, so she had to have her design for Google, and it was a free coloring download, so that was that one. So you won't really find that one. It might be on her website. Looks like that one got a smudge at some point, but... what was this? This must have been Ivy, because it feels like it's from the book. Oh, perfect. This was another download one that she had. This was a freebie for a magazine. This one I did print out. It's thinner paper, but I did watercolors on that one. I don't think this was Ivy. You guys probably, I'm drawing a blank on this one. This one was Ivy. Hi, Tech Gal. Does Dragonfly hold any symbolic meaning in the coloring world? No, I think they're just fun. In fact, the one that I put out in the shop, I added a couple dragonflies to it because why not? Plus, I think that the dragonfly one, because when Enchanted Forest came out, that's when it really exploded. That was about 2015. And the dragonfly was the least intimidating page in there. And so I think that's part of the reason it was really popular. Hi, Biblio. Let's see. Ooh, that real quick. These ones were the 30 days of flowers from the book World of Flowers. And so the task was, these were a free download. Again, any of these free downloads, I'm pretty sure she keeps them up on her website. But yeah, so this one was, what I did is I added frames to them and then I colored them every day with something different. This one, I'm trying to remember what I did. I have them written down, like when I posted these, I have them written down. Yeah, it was fun. So it was just a single flower every day. This one was, one of these was coffee. I think this one was coffee and this one was tea. You have to make such strong coffee and tea to have it work as a paint. But yeah, that one was coffee. That one was tea. I tried to use something different. I feel like that was Ergosoft, Faber-Castell, the Staedtler fine liners. What was this one? I don't remember that one. Some more markers. But each of these, oh, this one was almost a disaster. I wanted to use colored sand. Now you can't see it. Maybe I can if I get it focused. But it's super, super rough. Okay, you can't see the texture. Anyway, it's super rough because I tried to glue colored sand. Spoiler alert, it was a disaster. Oh, they could. That would be so cute. It was a complete disaster, and I think I ended up using Prismacolors over the top to try and not make it look just horrendous. But the fun thing that I did with this one is before I printed these out, I colored this one digitally. So when I was able to print it, I was able to do the other thing. So this one was digitally colored. I always thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, so different things every day on this one. This was one that I cropped and printed out, and this one was done with watercolor. Then when Johanna's Christmas came out, this was another one of the contest ones, another contest Magical Jungle. This one is one that I just, no, this one wasn't a contest. I think I just printed this one out and made it big because I was like, so many details. Some of you may know the lore behind this one. This is the one and only Halloween coloring that Johanna created and put out. And people have asked her so many times, hey, are you going to put out a Halloween book? And her answer is no, just because it's just like, it's not her thing. But there was a little boy that specifically requested, and he tugged at her heartstrings pretty good. And so she did a Halloween page. So her Halloween pages exist. Did you color the flamingos? I don't know that I've colored the flamingos. This one was a collaboration with Method, the soap company. She did a packaging collaboration with them, and she released this one as a coloring download. Oh, I did do the flamingos. Yes, in fact, I did do the flamingos. I definitely didn't have zero memory of doing the flamingos. Just put that over there. Yeah, so I'll reshare things sometimes. This one I really loved, and early in my online days, it got a really good reception, and so I've always loved this one. I did just a solid black background. I think I did Posca markers for this one, and then I used some of that gold Winsor & Newton ink at the top and the bottom of it. Not gonna lie, I love this one. I may need to repost some of these older ones that I really enjoyed. And this was from the artist edition, which is why it's bigger. Another artist edition, Enchanted Forest. This one was black and indigo for the background. This one was done with Prismacolors. This one was my challenge. So this was the artist edition. This was my challenge to only use one pencil. I'm not entirely sure, because it had the lines. Anyway, this was Tuscan Red, and this was before I met the Right, she did so many of them. Like, I wonder if I've got any of the Canon ones in here too, because she collaborated with Canon and they released a bunch of seasonal images. But this one was done strictly with Tuscan Red. I went through like 3 or 4 of them. Tuscan Red and a Prismacolor blender pencil. So that's all this one is. So it was a good practice in value. We should do another one like that at some point. This was my St. Patrick's Day themed Enchanted Forest squirrels. We got green, we got rainbows and everything. Another Lost Ocean, the seahorse. This one was Prismacolor for the seahorse and I believe watercolor for the background. This one I tried to go with something a little bit different where I did the background and then just did black for the silhouette, and then I did kind of splatter paint of white to act as stars. Right? I love it. Truth be told, the only reason I chose that color is because I didn't have many pencils at the time, but I had multiples of that one. And so I was just like, Tuscan Red it is. But I'll be honest, for the next page in, oh, that was the other thing. Episode 13 is fully out, which was this one. So it was the day, night. It's a little washed out right now. But this one is next, and it's super simple. So I was actually kind of thinking maybe something like this-ish, simplified, because I've been doing a lot of this one actually got a lot of response for, hey, I could do that kind of thing. Thanks. But we've been doing fairly complicated-ish, and I was just like, this seems like the perfect candidate for us to slow it down a little bit. I was thinking like rainbow color palette. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I did finish episode 13, if you were keeping up with that. This was another Enchanted Forest. I'll be honest, I knew I was not familiar with my color theory at the time. And, you know, decisions were made. We'll just slide that over there. Ryan, Christine, that's what I'm thinking. Christina, why did I do that? Another Enchanted Forest. I believe it was Inktense, actually. This was, I love this one. As you guys can see, I love the Doctor Who. Oh, look at that chat catch up. So this was in my I'm going to add things to it era. So this is Enchanted Forest. It really was just the gargoyles and their stars. I didn't really know how to cover up the stars up. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So we've got, this is supposed to be the time vortex. I would do it way differently now because it just kind of looks like intestines, to be honest. That's what it looks like to me. But the theory was there. I did it all in Prismacolors, but you know, we've got the police box, and then down here, I don't know if you're worried because the image of an angel becomes an angel itself. We've got the weeping angels down at the bottom too. So loved my Doctor Who. Then we have this one. This is one of the few ones that I've done where I've used a metallic one, and I absolutely love it. Ooh, Stranger Things. Well, this was before Stranger Things even came out, but I can feel the Stranger. Oh, Blink is, yes, D, absolutely. It's creepy, but also in a good way. But this one was done with Prismacolors. So I did all blue on the insects and then a singular little purple and a little dahlia purple. But what I did is I added a little bit of a drop shadow underneath each of the bugs, and then the background is done completely in gold Prismacolor. But the reason that I love it is because of the way that the Prismacolor works. You can see, or the metallic one works, these individual strokes, which you'd think it'd be like, I didn't want to see the lines or whatever. But because it's that slightly metallic, it gives like a whole velvety kind of, and I got my water this morning. I had my coffee. But it gives me kind of like a velvety background vibe. So I love this one. This one was another big one. I think this was from, yeah, this was from the Enchanted Forest Artist Edition. After I worked with Johanna on some revamp that she did for her website, she has an interview posted up there of the 3 colors that she chose to do that. Thank you. Sharing the advice to it? I absolutely could. And so this is the image that I, because she put one of like our colored pages with it. And so this is the image that she used. This one was done all in Prismacolors. Then we have another Enchanted Forest one. Again, most of my early work was Prismacolors because that was literally all I had, which is absolutely just fine. They're great pencils. especially when you're starting out. So Prismacolors, and then I used, at the time I was using the, what were they called? They were these chalk pastels. I can't remember the name of it. I think I still have it somewhere. And then there's texture to it because I sprinkled the background with some of that Winsor Newton Gold ink that I really enjoy. Then this was Secret Garden. So we did a little bit here. Again, Prismacolors. This was Enchanted Forest. Again, Prismacolors. And then this was another one. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Wait a minute. This might have been the one that she did the interview. It's one of them. They both basically have the same color palette, but it was one of them. I can't remember. But I did really like this one. So we've got, you know, a lot of vibrant Prismacolors, but then I added like all these little white speckles, and it just made it feel, I feel like, very, very magical. Then we've got Lost Ocean. We've got the ship. Fun fact, I could join them, right? I don't know. Maybe I need to do the wallpaper thing again. I've done this one. I think we did this on stream actually, but I did this another time. I actually took this design, put it on a wood panel, and I wood burned it as a gift for my dad. This is Enchanted Forest. Again, the Winsor Newton Gold ink with Prismacolors. This was me adding things again. So Enchanted Forest, but obviously it's a rabbit. But I was really going through Star Trek at the time. So, to boldly go where no bunny has gone before. Now at the time, I didn't really do stars correctly because this looks more like snow now rather than clusters. I kind of just did white dots everywhere. But I was very much into Star Trek at the time, which I still am. But I think I was watching like Next Gen for only like my first or second time through. So loads of glitter. Oh my gosh, I use so much glitter here. This is supposed to be like a galaxy over here. But yeah, the funny thing is when I spelled it the first time, I left out the L. And so whenever Steve sees it, we jokingly say, to boldly go where no bunny has gone before. But yeah, well, Enterprise. So that was my Star Trek thing. Oh, I don't believe so. I mean, she's been on the channel before, but I mean, that woman is incredibly busy. Like, I would be immensely surprised if she had the time to, you know, she's got 2 little girls, she's got her studio, she's got a bajillion projects. So no, I do not expect that in any way, shape, or form. But she has been on the channel before. This is one of the postcards. What was this? This one was... pretty sure that was Prismacolor. This one I really enjoyed. This was a Lost Ocean postcard, but I used the Winsor Newton Gold ink and the Ergosofts, and yeah, absolutely love it. So I do have more that are floating around here, but oh, we're 40 minutes in and haven't even colored yet. We'll probably go a little bit longer today so we can get some actual stuff done, because I want to do that background, but I've been meaning to pull these out for like the last couple of ones. So yeah, we got a lot of pages here. They're all posted on my Instagram for the most part. I don't know that the Star Trek one is because I worried about like copyright stuff. But most of these are all on my Instagram. Maybe I'll need to think of it is even those ones that I laminated, I wouldn't be able to rephotograph them because the lamination causes too much of a glare. Side quests, absolutely love the side quests. So now that I have a bunch of you in here too, just a reminder, if you're a member or an Instagram subscriber, new coloring download, little mushroom lighthouse. But even if you're not, this one is also a new illustration, a little pumpkin fairy village in my Etsy store. I have the links, or not links, a link pinned at the top of chat because we also have some new prints and original art. We have got 4 of these left. This is the last one of this print, and I'm not planning on reprinting them, so once they're gone, they're gone. And then, of course, we have the original as well. So, 1 more print, 4 of the small ones, and the original, and then we have the kind of fall coloring page. Thank you. Well, we are going to work on this background today. So I need to go refill my water cup. 1 second. You guys can come with me because I have the mic. Oh, hi, Annie. She's coming in. She's like, what's happening? Don't mind me. I'm just rinsing. It's easier to just bring you guys with me than unclip the mic. But I was rinsing the cup. All right, we got water now. Hi, Annie. What you doing? it's fun. You guys get to travel with me now that we've got this this travel mic. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, we're gonna grab a couple little towels here. Okay, so what we will do eventually is we're gonna be breaking this line. I grabbed just too many to just grab two. We're gonna be breaking this line here, but I don't know where exactly yet. So we're gonna start with just eliminating the stars. Field drip, what are you two doing? Paul, are you picking on her? You're over there just like doing cat stuff. Let's hear this trill and yowl and I don't know what's going on. Okay. Love it, Della. All right, so we are going to be using, I've talked about it a bajillion times. The link for it is in the description. This is the Winsor & Newton Permanent White Gouache. There, so it is an artist grade gouache. Let me grab the other paints real quick. Like I said, I'm in the middle of like massive crafting session for the kids stuff. So like hot glue gun, not where that belongs. But it's been chaotic, but we're working on it. So I have my little tray here of all of the ones. So there are two whites when it comes to the Winsor & Newton gouache, or at least the designer ones. They're both probably going to be around, oh gosh, they were $10 last summer, but the prices have probably gone up. But yeah, they're worth it. So the permanent white, hi Callie, the permanent white is great if you're wanting to cover things up. So you want to do, whenever you're covering up lines, you want to do a gouache versus something like an acrylic, because acrylic is more glossy and shiny when it dries. When you do the gouache, it's going to be more matte and easier to color over. Oh, fun. So there's the permanent white and the zinc white. The difference between these is zinc white is more meant for lightening your colors. Permanent white is something where you can use it for highlights and, like I said, covering, you know, stars up and everything. So I have this on autofocus, don't I? Which is not a bad thing, but anyway, so if you are trying to figure out which one you should get for covering lines, I always recommend the permanent white gouache. Now I have some like here, and I've got some in a little heart container that I save all the time, but I want to deal with fresh paint today. I don't have to worry about rehydrating that, so we're just going to get fresh paint to save us a little bit of time and be a little bit more gentle with our brushes. I have a, let's see, this is a size 0 Da Vinci round that I like to use. Okay, so let's get our water over here, spilled a little bit of that. Okay, I usually have these little containers with lids. I'm telling you, I need lids on everything. That's why I like lid. My coffee, it's a coffee cup with a lid, but we joke that it's my sippy cup. I legit knocked it over on the table yesterday, and my little sippy cup saved it from exploding everywhere. Would have been frustrated because it was a mess, and it was as I was headed out the door, but also I would have just been sad because I would have wasted coffee. Coffee's delicious. All right, we're gonna shift this back just so we can make sure we get this nice and centered. So, like I said, we are working on the background today. I have an idea for kind of a cloudy background. We'll do some of the same colors here, but the only thing we're using the paint for today is to cover up the lines. Once we get our clouds sketched out, and that's part of the reason that I didn't want to do some of these. Well, mine's an open one because when I'm driving, it's a pain to try and like open something. So there is like a risk always. There was a little bit of spillage, but it's a heck of a lot less. And yeah. Ooh, nice. Right, Callie? Exactly. Okay, so anyway, we're not continuing on the leaves yet because we're going to be breaking this border line, and it is going to be more difficult to cover up already colored pencil than it is just lines. So that is what we're going to start with. So we're going to get our little white here. Like I said, we're going to do the stars first, and then we'll go ahead and get on getting the background sketched out, and then we'll do the rest of the shape. Hi, Josephine. Thank you. Oh no, Kim. Was it like freshly hot or what was the sitch? You may need to do 2 layers depending on how thinned out your paint is. I also would recommend to, depending on what pencils you have, choose something that's a softer lead because it's going to be a lot easier. I have tried using like polychromos to go over the paint once I've had it down, and it is not nearly as smooth. You know, even with like spendy ones like Pablo's, like I tried, but it just did not work. So generally, if I'm going to cover something, I just grab my Prismacolors because I know that they're soft enough to work over, which works out well because that is what we're using today. Let's see. No coffee, so basically I'm starting my day a little bit cranky. Oh, I would too. We've got to get you some coffee. Sleeping, just woke up. Hey, that works, man. So we're always looking forward to the weekend is that we don't have to get up super early. We were trying to figure out little Emily's schedule, and basically it was going to make it to where we were going to have to get up like an hour earlier than we usually do. And I was just like, I mean, I'll do it because I'm her mom and I'm the chauffeur, but still in my head in the mornings, I'm like, no. I kept thinking like, it's probably a good thing that we don't do evening streams anymore. See, as it dries, I can tell if I need like a little bit more paint. Here, let me zoom in so you guys can see just a little bit better. But also just keep in mind, like the thicker it is, the more it will stand out. So actually, because we're going to be doing pencil, I don't need it super, super white. So, and if you feel like you've added too much paint and it's thicker, the great thing about gouache is that it can reactivate like a watercolor does. So you can always re-wet it and kind of spread it out a little bit. Oh, you didn't burn yourself, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Wait, what did I miss? No. Like I keep thinking, I'm like, man, it's a shame that we've lessened down to one, but it has been so chaotic this last week, like between doctor appointments and everything that we've had to do and whatnot. Like it is just like, I don't know where I would even fit in more time anymore. Also because I'm trying to post more frequently on social media because I'm trying to make that work. So it has allowed for a little bit more of that time. The, can I finish this book series is going really well. I'm not getting them out quite as fast as I'd like, but I'm trying to, because I was really bad about posting on Facebook, but I've started doing it more, and I'm trying to post the backlog of the Can I Finish This One? And I realized I made a mistake the other day because I'm only up to, I'll probably post another one or, share another one there today. I'm only up to like episode 5. Oh, Paul, we got wet paint, bud. Here, I will move it and you can go sit at the window, okay? Oh, thankfully that was dry. He just stepped right in the palette, but that was all dry. He didn't step in the only wet paint. Oh, but you are, okay, is that dry? Not all of that is dry, dude. Okay, there's no paint there. Of course, you would put your butt directly, and he's rubbing his face on the... You would put your butt directly on the page. Thank you for that. Okay, that's not as bad. I can handle the laying down. Can I have this? Can I have that? Ugh, thank you. Nope, we're not. Okay. I don't need him like trying to, I mean, it's non-toxic, but still. We're not trying to eat the paint today, okay? Mom, I know, right? You little goober, you ignore me all day. If I wasn't in here talking to people, like, you would not even give me the time of day. He has been all about Steve lately. I'll walk in and he's just like full on cuddle snuggle. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here between you two, huh? And he looks at me like nothing. Right? Yeah, no, total cat butt, just smacked down. He did this yesterday too when I was photographing the new coloring download, and he just put his butt smack dab in. Are we done now? Okay, I'm sorry. Apparently we were talking about his butt too much and he found that offensive. We won't fully move everything back over there, but I think so, but I love that. Steve always does that Michael Jackson song, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Let's see, we're gonna cover that one up too. Like I said, we want this, we're gonna have this be a plain background. Oh, I love that. Well, you know, Paul, he's even got, he's a bit of our mascot, so he's got his own emotes here. Of course, we got the middle one, Paul Bond. We got one for Annie. Annie's our cozy emote, but yeah, we definitely got some themes. Hard to color over the top, less smooth. Yeah, so it's not going to be like perfectly smooth once you color over the gouache. However, with pencils that are soft like Prismacolors, it's a heck of a lot less noticeable. And like I said, if you end up putting gouache, because it reactivates, if you put it down and you're like, wow, that is entirely too thick, keep in mind, this won't work if you've placed pencil over it. But if it's just like this and you go, man, that was too much paint, you can always re-wet it and smooth it out. Obviously, you want to, you know, watch your paper and everything because it will start to buckle. But it does a pretty good job, especially because, like, I could fill in this whole background with white. Noticeable if I cover the whole thing, because there is a texture, but unless you're looking at it up in person, like, it's not super noticeable. The other thing is, for this to work and to be able to successfully go over it with pencil, you need to have the paint go directly on the paper. So if I were to put gouache over the trees and then color again, it would scrape it right up, because it doesn't have anything to adhere to grip onto, because with the pencil here, especially because it's a waxy pencil, it creates almost like a glossy surface and it doesn't give the paint anything to grip to. So for this to work, you need to make sure that you are putting this down first before any pencil. At least that's been my experience. I know there's a lot of people that will cover it up, so they may have different methods for it. But as far as how I work with it, that's kind of the general rule of thumb that I follow, is paint first, then pencil. Oh, Angela, I saw your pictures. Congratulations. That was was it your son? I believe it was your son. Like, I'll see things like that and I'll file a note and I go, oh, but then when I try and remember the details later, I'm like, oh boy, I've lost him. Oh my gosh, it was mildly, and I say this very, very lightly, mildly chilled yesterday. And by chilled, it didn't feel like we were going swimming. Oh, that's so awesome. When we went outside. Today it's going to be 103, but it was only like 75 this morning. And then it's supposed to be in double digits rather than triple for the rest of the week. However, that may also because there is a hurricane headed towards Texas. We won't really get much of it because we're central Texas, and it's more so going to be hitting West Texas. But that doesn't happen all the time, so that'll be kind of new for them. But we're going to get some of that kind of right on the bands, you know, the edges of the storm. So we'll be getting a little bit of that. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Much cooler weather. But for now, my focus has been, obviously, we're, do the streams on Fridays, wanting to finally got semi caught up on it. Streams on Fridays. Like I said, I am starting on Little Emily's costume. I don't have much to show you guys yet because yesterday I spent time using the cutting machine to cut out the leaves on her costume, separating the fake flowers. Also started kind of planning out her headpiece. I had got these foam cones that I was going to use as horns and I was going to carve them, but I was like, oh my god, this is such a pain and it's super messy carving foam. And it wasn't like styrofoam, it was a harder foam, but still the mess was just like everywhere. So what I actually ended up doing is I took some foil, shaped the horn that I wanted, and then covered it with felt. And then I covered it again with like the sparkly black felt. Where do I have? Hang on, I'm gonna grab it real quick because I just have one and it's not done yet. Like I'm gonna do fabric paint on it to give it texture and all of this stuff. But I've got a little styrofoam head, a little styrofoam head that I'm working on it with. So I've got the headband we're gonna use taped to the head right now so that I can position everything correctly. And so this is one of the horns. It's gonna have a point on it, and I'm gonna add some more texture, but the idea is when it's done, and it's got a long ways to go. This is just like the first step. It will kind of be like that. Again, it's really rough. I only just started. There's more to go on this, and it'll all look, it'll look normal when it's done, I swear. It's Steve, but that's why I've also started working on them in September, because I've got 2 months to finish it now. So she's gonna be this like forest dragon sprite thing. It's her own creation, but it's going to be like, obviously the horns are different, but this is kind of the inspiration for what she's going to wear. So obviously I need to fabricate all of this still. So it'll be something similar to that. I actually have my iPad in here so I can show you guys. I've been working like on a sketch of her costume. So I kind of knew what supply. I haven't gotten anything for the wings yet. But I have a program where I can like snag a model. And so the tail isn't right. We have since switched the tail to a different kind of tail. So that's going to look different. But the front of it is going to be like kind of this ethereal kind of thing on top. And then it's going to have all of these like leaves and all of this stuff. So yeah, again, that was just a rough sketch for the headpiece, but kind of the idea. This black dress that the model is wearing, I drew that on because that's what she'll have underneath, is a to her knees black dress, but it's like very early stages right now, you know, just slowly putting it together. Let's see, a forest, yeah, but she's also a dragon, so it'll have the tail and the headpiece. I don't know, it's all Barbie Mariposa vibe. Fall vibes with an apocalyptic overtone due to smoke causing the red sun glow. Oh my gosh, isn't that so weird when that happens? Whenever, oh thanks. Whenever we've got those fires over here, it's just like, okay. Guess that's what we're doing now. But yeah, so, and then little Steve's, I have his trash can. I have what I need. I just need to dig out my drill and my drill bits so I can cut out the bottom of it. So little Steve's is going to be pretty easy, but the thing that is they usually do like book character costumes, so he's not going to be able to wear a trash can to school. Can you imagine sitting at your desk with a 32-gallon trash can that you're wearing? It's not going to work. Eerie vibes, yeah. It's just a normal gray one, like a gray Rubbermaid. He wanted to look as much like an actual trash can as he could because he wants to prank people. You know, when they trick or treat, he'll crouch down, and then when they open the door, he'll pop up, and he wants a picture of a refrigerator to be hanging down from his little trash hat, so that he can then, he's not going to go boo or whatever. He wants to pop up and then ask them, is your refrigerator running? Like, I love how unique he gets with his costume ideas. So his is actually going to be somewhat simple, except I need to come up with another costume for him to wear for his school costume parade. He really likes, there's a math app because he is all about numbers. And there is a character on this math app because you like do math and you get points when you get them right, and then you get a battle. It's this whole thing, but he loves it. We love it. So it's great. So I was looking into that. Or he really likes the book, The Phantom Toll Booth. And, what's the villain? It's like the terrible not trivia, trivial something. Anyway, he's kind of spooky looking and he's a villain and he wants to do that. But I'm mildly concerned, like, would that be too scary? Like, especially if some of the younger kids see him? I don't know. Fire season is upon us. They're running fire air quality planning ads. Oh, great. That's safe. Right, Angela? I love it. Like, he's always chosen really just cool costumes because we let them lead the way, right? And if it's within my capability to make, yeah, of course, I'm going to do everything I can to try and pull that together. So, like, one of his costumes he loved. This one was during COVID. So, and you know, there were still some people that were going door to door, but we weren't comfortable with that yet. So instead, we went to a couple houses of the, you know, people that we knew, but otherwise we spent Halloween handing out candy. We had this whole like candy shoot, like it was a whole thing. But he was a hot dog that year. He was a traffic cone another year, which everybody loved. Like he still wears it around. He was an inflatable dinosaur. Like he just loves the comedic costumes. Inflatable dinosaur. Last year we made him the Duolingo costume. Let's see. For difficult math, all I can find is Nerdle. I don't know if Duolingo does. The one that, I don't know what age range you're looking for. The one that he likes is called Prodigy. And he really enjoys that. Hi, Sue. No worries. How's work today? Well, more than math and reading, but I think Nerdle's not challenging. We'll check it out. Yeah, Prodigy is what he uses. They have like the school has, I think, a school account for it, but he also plays it at home. And it's actually, it used to just be like on computers, but they actually have an app for it now. Oh, looking for you. Well, I know they for that one, it's definitely geared towards kids, but hey, it's like math meets Pokemon. So if you are down with Pokemon, we love Pokemon in this house, then yeah, that's basically it. He really is. Like, it's so cute. Actually, I should show you. It's downstairs. Hang on. I'm going to take you guys downstairs with me, and then I'll bring it back. So, real quick, one of the characters, what's the name? What's the name of it? Let's see. There is the Prodigy character. Okay, Prodigy. What is the name of it? Steve, are you still here? What is the name of it? Prodigy. It's like the Spell Master, something Master. Let's see. Maybe he's the villain. Oh, the Puppet Master. That's what he is. Okay. So the Prodigy Puppet Master. There we go. Okay. Prodigy Puppet Master. Hang on. Clearing my notifications here. There we go. Okay. This is the Prodigy Puppet Master, right? Okay. In part, it's why I play with my spreadsheet so much while reading and reviewing. Love the soft and hard sets. Oh my gosh, right? Oh, I absolutely love spreadsheets. All right, I'm actually pulling up chat on my phone here so I can see the chat because I'm going downstairs because I want to show you guys. Let's see. Watch, it'd be just my luck that I'm too distracted and I like fall down these stairs. Yay me. Oh, hi, kitty. Your chat got behind. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up and show you guys. Obviously, there's no one else at the house right now, so it's really quiet. But every now and then we have them take screen breaks. Like, we don't let them do screens because we want them to, you know, don't fall down the stairs. I'm good. I'm good. No falling yet. Although Annie likes to dart up the stairs and go right in front of us, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get murdered one of these days. Okay, I'm off the stairs. I'm almost back in. Okay. Okay. We're back. We're back. Okay. So, I showed you what the little character looked like, right? Prodigy Puppet Master. Only barely. So, I showed you that. So, we did yesterday evening. We do it more on the weekends because we don't want him to be like glued, you know, glued to screens and whatever else. But last night we did a no screens evening. So they were, I'm out of breath. I'm out of shape, man, those stairs. So he was doing crafty stuff instead. And again, let me pull up the Puppet Master to show you what he did. Okay, so that's the Puppet Master, right? And he did this all on his own. The only thing he asked me is, how do I make a dome? And so I suggested cutting strips of paper and crisscrossing them. So he made this. I got stuff, but He made this all by himself. So it's like the little character face with the eyes, right? And then he made a little scepter. There you go, a little scepter. His sister had some purple material and he wore it as a cloak, and he made himself a whole puppet master kind of thing. Hi, Connie. But yeah, he blows me away with his creativity sometimes. Like I had no idea he was making that. And they have Crayola markers, and I need to get them some new ones. Because a bunch of theirs were dried out, but they were trying to finish this craft because, you know, sister was helping them with it. So they asked if I had any markers, and I'm like, oh, I think I might have a few, but what I let them use, I have these Arteza H2O, so they're not alcohol markers. These are water-based markers, but they needed something bigger. So I let them take these 2 drawers to finish it, and they're like, really? Yes. So they got super excited that they got to use Mommy's special markers. They're not Copics. First of all, that's permanent. I wouldn't want to do that to my floors. No, these ones are the Copics. Yep. No, these ones are they're the same shape as the Arteza alcohol markers, but these are water-based ones. So, but I was just like, look, they're not marked as washable, guys, so keep them off your clothes and the carpet. So they were pretty excited. They're like, really? But yeah, no. Copics. Yeah, no, we're not using that on crafts. I just need to order them some new markers. I didn't realize that theirs were all dried out. So that's also I need to do at some point. Okay. Oh, we miss you too. All right, last star here. Okay. All right. I don't have my heat gun plugged in. Well, we'll work on this other side. Okay, so for the clouds, all right, we're not going to do something symmetrical. As you can tell with the trees are not symmetrical either. We're going to put the lid on the water because knowing me, I will somehow knock it over. Okay, so we're not going to put it away completely because we're still going to be doing, you know, we need to break the frame for the clouds and everything. So up here. All right, so we're going to be kind of sketching in what we want. I don't want it to stand out super, like we're not going to use a black or anything to sketch it in. This is my super tiny, super short, what is this one? This one is 936. This is slate gray. This is slate gray. The cat will, or the cat will try to drink it. Oh yeah, he probably will. He at least sniffs it. I try not to let them eat the art supplies if I can help it. Oh, look at that one. I did not get nearly as much paint on that as I should have. We're gonna add just a little bit more. That was just too thinned out by water. Hang on, open that back up real quick. But yeah, I was trying to brainstorm what I wanted to do for this background. We had some lightning and thunder the other day. And I briefly thought, I'm like, oh, that would be kind of fun if we did a lightning and thunder. But I'm going for warm, cozy, not like noisy, gloomy, you know? Okay. Let that do its thing. All right, so for the shape of the cloud, we're going to shape the inside first, and then I'll figure out where it needs to break. Because we already have a bit of the frame break on the wood that it's standing on. So I think it's going to look cool when it's done. So let's see. Sorry, I had like a sketch idea that I was trying to think about. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start right about here. Okay, let's zoom it in. Right? That's what I'm going for. Oh, thanks. All right, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see it. I'm going really light because I don't want to make the lines too harsh because we're just mapping it in. So hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit, but I don't want to make it too dark or it's just going to be that much more difficult on us. So obviously I'm not going to do like fluffy things. I want to do semi-ish realistic. Okay. So I'm going to bring this down here. How is this? Can you guys see it? Maybe we should zoom in a little bit more while we're working on just this side. Okay, can you guys see those lines at all? Like I said, I want them to be light, but not so light that we can't see it at all. While we're sketching, I'm not really worried about going over the white stars. I'll probably skip around them because it'll work better for us to blend them in once we're using more. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, so now we're gonna bring this, just, like I said, we're kind of just sketching random-ish shapes here. We will, we'll be using the white gouache as a highlight once we're done. But for now, just kind of, see, I feel like it would be good to have it break there and maybe like a little bit at the bottom. But I need to make sure that I'm moving this so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna move the paint over here so we can move this. Okay. All right, so sketching this way, then go here. Let's have a line be there. Come over here, and let's bring this one up here. And I'm just trying to like kind of make it balanced, but I want like some of the sky peeking through. No, the stars are going away completely. So I covered them all up because I want to, water-based products and fragile, so what pencils do you use to shade? I mean, I've used watercolor paint and watercolor pencils. I just dry a lot in between, and once it's dry on top, then I'd probably go for a softer one because the paper would have already been through a little bit with water medium. But yeah, no, the stars are going to go away completely because when I see the stars, like it makes me want to do like a galaxy background or whatever else. And if it's cloudy, you're not necessarily going to see the stars anyway. So that is what we're going with here. Okay. And if you are like, well, I don't really know how to do clouds except for like the rounded kind of fluffy, you know, whichever. Do you know what I do a lot of times? And Steve will kind of tease me and chuckle at this. I will randomly take pictures of clouds that I think like have a cool shape or a cool like contrast and light, like all of this kind of stuff. And he always chuckles. I'm like, it's for inspiration. But, oh, Neocolor 2s. Well, those are kind of waxy. Yeah, well, not when you wet them. I don't know. Most of the time I just try to use a softer pencil that's a little bit easier to use. Right? And yes, all the time. Sunsets, clouds, everything. Okay. Sorry, I'm hearing a noise, making sure it wasn't the cats getting into things. Okay. You know what I think we might do? I think we're just going to focus on the one half for today so we can get a finished cloud image done, because I think we're going to go until the clouds are done. Let's see, let's bring it up over this way too. Okay, then we're going to bring this around. This. Those gorgeous clouds. Oh, I can imagine. Sorry, I feel like, oh. I'm like, what am I hearing? It's driving me nuts. I put little Steve's hat thingy here and I have a fan blowing and it's moving it. And I'm like, what is that tap? It's just the hat moving. So no cats. I'm just, you know, crazy. Well, actually, we're going to go with, there's not going to be really any pink or purple. We're going to stick with this kind of muted color scheme a little bit. The bright part of it will be the highlights. So yeah, we're going to kind of roll with it. So now that I've got it kind of sketched in, like I said, we're doing this in Prismacolor. We're not doing this in paint. We'll use some white paint for the highlights, but for the most part, the clouds will all be in Prismacolor. So now we're going to start darkening up some of these areas, and we're still going to go with just this slate gray. It's number 936 now. Let's see how close I can get in here so you can see. All right, so obviously we have a star right here. And when you color over it versus where you're at, stands out pretty significantly. Oh, the actual cloud. Gotcha. It stands out pretty significantly. So when this will start to disappear is when we start to layer more colors. So the end product, again, if you're here, you'll be able to see it. But for the most part, when you're like posting on Instagram or whatever else, they're not really going to see it like at all. So I am just going to start darkening up some of these areas. Let's see, let's do here. Obviously, it's not an exact science. Clouds are just clouds. Like, even if you feel like it's a funny shape, clouds are funny shapes all the time. So we're good. Okay. Like I said, we're just using slate gray at the moment. Okay, let's go up here. Let's do some darker area here. And also when you're going over these white spots, don't press too hard. We're going to press harder a little bit later, but for this beginning kind of sketch in, if you were really to take your pencil and just, you are going to scrape some of it up, right? They're so fun. It allows you a lot of freedom for how you want things to look. Okay, let's see. I did line here, so we're going to add just a little bit extra there. Okay. Let's see. There. I don't know if you guys are starting to kind of see the shape a little bit. I was required to do some realistic artworks. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Which one's from illustrators? Oh, it's fine. There's lots of practice with clouds. You just lay down some squiggles and call it good. All right, let's put a little bit here. Let's see. Let's do here. Put there. Okay, for the bottom. Okay, this is also going to be a cloud, so we're going to fill that in. Okay. Okay, do some there. Clouds are definitely a practice in just kind of being abstract, not thinking too hard about it. Okay, I like that. Most are for kids though. Check if you've got a local gallery. I know the one that I do the festival with, they have them all the time. There are kids classes, but I know they have some adult ones as well. Or even if they're not adult classes, the place where I went, they have like meetups where they all do art and everything. Let's see. Slate gray, I love it. Right, it's great. It's the funny thing is when I was working on this, because I did this last night. When I was working on this last night, I misremembered. I thought I had used slate gray at the top of this, but it was the muted turquoise, and I misremembered. And so I had done almost this whole part. It was just the first layer, so it was really light. And it was then that I realized, like, oh, this isn't the right color. So I go through and erase like everything. Yeah, the negative spaces in clouds. Well, even this is like an exercise for my brain. So it takes a little bit to be like, okay, well, I want to do this because clouds can be blended, yes, but they can also have like harsh lines. Speaking of clouds, all right, so for our next color, we're going to bring in one of our light colors. We are going to bring in, actually, unironically enough, cloud blue, because it's a nice light color. Yeah, fluffy little clouds. Oh man, Bob Ross blows my mind. He's so good at that. Okay, this is cloud blue. We got a Franken pencil here, but we are going to use that. And I'm not too worried about leaving white spaces because we are going to be using our white paint for our highlight. Give this a quick little sharperoo. And also what's going to help these clouds pop is when we add in the sky background as well. So now, add in the cloud blue. And actually, we may jump to the blue that we're going to have be the sky color too, because that's going to help us kind of figure out exactly where we want this. So let's see. We can go a little bit harder with this now. So, because this is a nice light color, I want to make sure that it's not too many rounded shapes. I know it's hard to see. I swear this will all pop once I get the background in, because we're going to be using some of this muted turquoise for the sky again as well. Also, there's clouds in the sky, so it like keeps getting lighter and darker. So if it's too difficult to see and I miss the light change, just holler at me. I mean, not literally, you might scare the people in your house, but you know, type very enthusiastically. Hey lady, the exposure is way overexposed on your video. All right, so we're gonna fill that in. And if you guys missed the announcements earlier while we're doing this, there is a new page up in the Etsy store, as well as if you're a member, there's a new download. There's also some new prints and original art. There's currently only one left of the 8x10 of the prints, but there are some more smaller ones, and then of course the original art as well. Okay, we're gonna leave that for now. I know it's hard to see. Maybe if I hold this up, because I can only zoom in so far. Okay. I don't know. Can you see that? Tilt it down a little bit. Okay, that's going to be our clouds. Sounds good, Anamta. Thanks for being here. I have that one. I think Renee sent it to me. Along with my Bob Ross statue I've got over here to the right. Okay, so now we're going to grab, let's see, I definitely want to do a blue. So we're going to get the muted turquoise. Yeah, we're just going to start with the muted turquoise, actually. We'll get a secondary darker color if we want to, but this is kind of us just getting the sky mapped out. We're not going to go too far over to the right side because we're only doing the left side right now. Oh, that's blue slate. Hang on. Hang on. I know it's in the cup because I just used it. And no, I did not put away my pencils from last night. I know. I'm the worst. Let's see, that's the metallic blue. Sorry, you guys can see. I'm just looking for the pencil right now. Like I said, I just used these last night, so. Don't mind me. Did I actually put it away? Like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Let me see if I put it away. If not, I may just need to grab one of my backups because I just had it last night. What am I doing? Muted turquoise. No, I didn't put it away. I must have just like, because it was like the last one that I was using. Let's see, muted turquoise is 1088. Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab backup because I don't know where I put it. Don't mind me. And it's like I could be more organized if I just put these away. Right, Shannon? Yeah, but I mean, would you guys still like me if I was, you know, organized and stuff? No, that's part of my charm, isn't it? Right? Got my jade green. I swear I was just using it last night. Okay, hang on. Gotta go to my backup drawers here. Okay. I'm gonna laugh so hard if I don't have a backup of the muted turquoise. Like, how ironic would that be? We would just have to choose a different color. Or at least until after stream when I can find it. Well, that's hilarious. Note to self, get a backup of muted turquoise. All right, we're just going to use a different color, and then I will see and try and figure out what I did with that flipping pencil last night. I just used it last night. Like, I used it so much. Yep. It's my charm, I swear. My inability to keep my things organized. So, you know, I got that going for me. Okay, let's see. Dang it, I wanted that muted turquoise. That bothers me that I put it somewhere. Clearly not being responsible with my pencils. Hang on, I got these other ones right over here. I was just making sure that I hadn't put it in the other thing. Did Paul borrow it? Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. Like, it would not surprise me at all. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna grab a different color. Let's see. Since it's not gonna be the permanent color, let's go ahead and go with, let's go light cerulean blue. He probably is, honestly. It would not surprise me. All right, light cerulean blue, that'll work. So I know it's got to be around here somewhere. What I'm thinking is when I was cleaning up like other cups and stuff last night, it's probably in another one. Check the closet. If it's in the closet, it's never coming back. It's gone. It's gone, baby, gone. All right, so yeah, I was going to end up using a blue along with that anyway, so this will be fine. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to fill in too far because we're just doing the left half today, so we can finish the left half from beginning to end. I'm just wanting to kind of fill in the sky color. Yeah, Paul, I know. He's so sneaky. Hang on, I was just realizing, because I have the cup of Black Widows out, so I was just checking to see if I put it in there. Let's see. Yeah, no. Either that or it like fell down behind my desk, so I'll have to check. Go figure. It's the one pencil. The one. Okay, so we're just going to fill this in. And because we're going to be doing the cloud highlights afterwards, we will always be able to, you know, like add a little bit more paint to the edge if that's what we want. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be sky. Okay, this is going to be sky. All right, now, so we've got the sky mapped in, we've got the clouds mapped in. We're going to get a little bit more adventurous. Right? Well, I get no respect in this house. I get blamed for everything. Okay, so we're still going to stick with the slate gray. Let's grab jade green, which I think I have out already. Yes, this is jade green. Oh, sounds good. Have a good trip. New fountain pen on my list. Nice. Enjoy yourself. Travel safe. Have a good time. All right, so we're going to use the slate gray, and we are going to get a little bit braver. Now that we have everything kind of shaped, we are going to go a little bit darker. And again, don't be afraid to do kind of more organic shapes rather than just like your typical whoop, 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 which don't get me wrong, I like those too. In fact, I did them here for this one. Nothing wrong with those ones, but I'm going a little bit more like, you know, rustic and realistic for this one. So everywhere I did kind of darker slate gray when I was kind of figuring out my shadows, that's where I'm going in with this now. So we're gonna here, let's see. And we got more here. Bring this up just a bit more. And like I said, we're gonna be using a white Prismacolor when we kind of blend this all together. And when we use that white Prismacolor, that's when you'll really start to see the stars kind of disappear. Because we're going to be blending out kind of all this harsh color that's on top of the stars. Oh my gosh, words are hard. Okay, so we're just using that slate gray. Hang on, my phone went off. I just gotta make sure. Make sure it's not the kids. Okay, let's see. So I had this one end here. So we're gonna make that a little bit darker. I also had a line here, so I think we're gonna give this just a little bit more space, just so it has a little bit here to it. Okay, so that was sky. So we're gonna go darker here. And it doesn't have to be like a perfect line either, because I mean, if you look at clouds, they've got all kinds of texture. What we're really just kind of separating right now is the different kind of puffs of cloud. Okay, this one also. Real question is, where are we going to have it break the frame? I'm thinking here, but not like a ton. So we will bring this up here, but again, I don't want to do like perfect round shapes. Okay. Now, I'm not going to color too much because since I want to cover up some of these lines, I don't want to get too much wax on the paper before we do the paint because we want that to stick. So when I do the paint here in just a bit, because once we figure out where we want this to break, yeah, I'm going to want to be a bit more careful with that. So let's see, we're going to do a cloud break here. Okay, so break, break. We don't need to do too much. Too many breaks. Let's do a small one here. I think that'll be good. Okay, so since we're going with our pencil, I don't want to let it go too far and get too much pencil on there. So let's erase this just a bit. Hang on, I gotta get the previous pencil color off there. All right, so I'm just going to erase this a little bit. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get some of that water and we are going to just do those lines real quick. So we're just using that same gouache that we used earlier. It's dried a little bit, so I'm just re-wetting the surface here. Okay. All right, so we are going to cover there. There, and then of course we have partial on these leaves. Okay. And I'm not too concerned with this area because since we're going to be doing highlights and paint, after we get our color down, this particular area will actually get paint on it once again. So even if we end up scraping off a little bit because of, you know, there was some pencil there already, it's going to be just fine. Oh, it'd be really nice if I was in frame. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so now we're going to do this one here. This line is going to break. And yes, there is pencil there because I already colored it, but I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. So it'll be fine. It'll work. Okay. Do you mean like the little hearts in the corner? Or do you mean like liking it? Okay, get a little bit more. I mean, I have hype emotes. I mean, if you really wanted to hype it, you could just share it and be like, hey, cool, look, cloud tutorial. Also, she talks a lot, but you know, it's kind of endearing. Okay, we're actually going to go over this a little bit still. Yeah, you'll just find that when you're painting over pencil, it has a hard time adhering to that. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Like I said, we're going to be doing highlights on the edge here anyway, so it won't be. Oh, really? What is it? I just put that in my mouth and I realized I can't talk what it is. When they become videos. What does it do when you hype? Hold on, now I want to look it up. What does it do when you hype it? YouTube hyping videos. Now that I'm only streaming once a week, I feel like I'm like so out of it. Let's see. Introduces hype feature to push channels below 500K. If a video has been out less than 7 days from a creator with under 500,000 subscribers, which is most of us because that's hard to do, you can quote unquote hype it and go beyond like liking and sharing. The more hype it gets, the higher it climbs on a new leaderboard with the top 100 hype videos from the week. Anybody can hype up to 3 times per week in the future. Now this is a Reddit post like a while ago, but if it's still the same. In the future, we plan to allow fans to purchase additional hypes, unlocking another revenue stream for creators too. Huh. You seen that? Yeah. Oh, Colorful Country Life pointed out a hype feature on her videos. Apparently, if we press on it, it makes more people see it. So yeah, so Shannon says when they become videos. So yeah, probably after. Well, that's cool. I wonder if that's something I have to turn on though. Let me just look real quick. Let's see. We're gonna go to. Let's see. Membership stuff. Well, I'll poke around. I don't know if I just been hyping videos for a couple of weeks now. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, definitely going to be researching that after stream. I have no idea, Christina. I don't have a clue, but it sounds cool. Oh, there's nothing I have to do. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, as soon as it becomes a video. All right, let's actually, I want to extend this up just a bit. But I'm down with that. The more eyes, the better. I'm not going to lie. I'm really enjoying this series that I've been doing, the Can We Finish This Whole Book? Because I've actually gotten a lot of new viewers from it as well. And that's been really nice. Okay. I'm not 100% sold on how far out I want this cloud to go. But since this part is already colored, we'll just need more paint anyway. So we're going to leave that as such. Well, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yay for hypage. All right, so we're gonna avoid the areas that I've just colored because yeah, they're still wet. Okay, what were we doing? We were doing this one because we were darkening up some of these areas. So we're gonna keep doing that. Okay. Is it something that you pay for? Or is it just like a button that you press? A button that you press like when you like a video. So I guess the perk of it is it gets on that. Let's see. This is the edge of the cloud. It gets on that like top 100 list or whichever. Okay. All right, we're coming along. It's getting darker. But we still need to go darker. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? So I got this out last night. Because we have the page out of the book, the coloring pencils are picking up some of the wood grain behind the paper. So I've got a piece of thicker cardstock underneath of it. It's just a hype button. Well, that's cool. Always down for hyping small creators. I think if I were to have a goal eventually for my channel, and it's not it's not about sponsorships. Sponsorships are great, like that would be fabulous. But one of the personal goals I have is I want to get the play button. I forgot to ask Claire because Claire hit 100,000, didn't she? Pretty sure Claire. Here, let's do exclamation point Claire. Do I not have a link for Claire? Oh my gosh. Okay, writing that down. Oh no, I did. Okay. I was going to be really disappointed in myself if I didn't have Claire's link up here. Oh no, she had hit 50K. That's what it was. But she's at 82.5 now. Claire is well on road to that 100K. But how cool would that be to have like a little plaque? Right, Angela? I was going to be like, do I not have a command for Claire? Like, I was going to be so disappointed in myself. Like, she and I have known each other since like the beginning. Like, hello? All right, the paint's a little bit dry there, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with some of that slate gray. I was like, that would just be embarrassing. Like, I try to have links for most all, you know, my YouTube besties, people that have been around a while, you know, or consistent, you know, it's like, what? Okay, because I had a recommendations page on my website for a while, but I'm limited as to how many pages I can have on the website, and so it's not up there anymore. But instead, what I have is I have commands for people who whose channels I recommend. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting close. Like you can tell, the shape is starting to progress here. But I feel like, because they are clouds, we don't want them super dark, but I feel like it needs more. And it could just be that I need to press harder. Let's actually go in with a little bit of cool gray, 70%. I just want to get a little bit of that contrast. So cool gray, 70%. Perfect. It was put away. Look at me go. Let's give it a quick sharpen. Because when we're going for this kind of fall, kind of cozy vibe, these kind of darker colors they work a little bit more. Hi, Jeanette, how are you? Oh, live stream only videos. Does it let you hype a live stream video like after it's a video, or is it just because it was a live stream you can't hype it? Can you hype shorts? I don't know. I don't put out too many of the long form videos anymore because I don't have time to edit it. Like I know people like want me to have longer versions of the Can I Finish This Whole Book series, which would be great in theory, but like I can't, it hasn't let you. All right, hang on. I'm getting a bunch of emails. Why am I getting a bunch of emails? Okay, I'll have to look at that. Anything that's under the live tab. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to be going down the rabbit hole of hyping videos. Even if it can't apply to my videos, it's still cool for other creators. Yeah, I just don't have the time anymore to sit down, because I'm going to tell you what, it takes me a fraction of the time to edit a short than it does if I were to do a color along for a whole video. Once it goes to video, okay, that's under the live tab. Well, yeah, I'm going to do some research. But thanks for telling me. I had no idea there was a new feature. That's cool, though. All right, so do you see how the slightly darker color is helping these clouds take shape? It's not like they don't look white anymore. But also, they're not going to be 100% white because I want them to be, you know, got kind of that overcast vibe to it. Again, it hasn't let you. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to poke around. I'm gonna go try and hype your lives after this. Be like, all right, guys, won't let me hype Shannon. Still, that is cool for just creators in general. That's awesome. Yeah, I have found that I have been able to post more consistently with the shorts and the reels than I have been in the past with other stuff. So for the way life is right now, that just works better. Google says. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's like, it's hard when you first start out and they're just like scratches on a page, but once you can start seeing it come together, it's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. And the sky will be a lot darker. It's going to be similar to like the sky that I have here, but a little bit more blue. They really are, Allison, like absolutely. And also, not just that, but I film my shorts at fairly high quality, like 60 frames per second, and it gives it just a really nice view to it. But the thing that is I'll usually, by the time, depending on how long, repurposing it, okay, depending on how long the short is, like how many clips I take, it's pretty normal. If I were to do a 2-minute reel, which I realize you can do 3-minute reels on YouTube now, so I've been doing ones that are a little bit longer. But if I have enough footage to break down into about 2 minutes, that usually ends up being anywhere from like 30 to 40 minutes. Oh, thanks. 30 to 40 minutes of clips that I usually pull together. Because it, like, usually each clip in the reel are about 2 seconds long, or maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, depending on what the clip is about. But those 30 to 40 minutes of clips by itself We might have talked about this before. Anybody want to guess how many gigabytes that is when I'm filming at 60 frames per second? It gives it just that really nice smooth look to it. So for 30 to 40 minutes, the gigabytes for the file size, the live stream is before this one, it definitely can hide it. Oh, hype it. Sorry, that was a mistype. Okay, cool. Well, that's cool. Yeah, hype away, guys. The total gigabytes for that is usually around, yes, it's a lot of gigabytes. Yeah, 24 to 26 gigabytes for 30 to 40 minutes worth of clips. Now, I don't save everything, and I actually store, I have a handy little, oh, weird. This is my, it doesn't, I marked it on there because I have other ones that are smaller, but I have a handy little external 4 terabyte hard drive. And that's where I store most of my clips. And at some point when it starts to get too full, because I'm not just going to keep buying hard drives for clips that I probably won't ever reuse again. On occasion, I've redone a thing. So Derwent, they posted one of my videos, and they have a second one that they may post at some point. But it was for the Can I Finish This Book series, but they wanted something that wasn't part of the series. So I went back into the video files and got rid of some of the text. They may end up using that at some point, which, just a little side note, how cool was that Derwent wanted my videos? Sorry. Okay, I'm done now. I definitely fangirled a bit. Like, these art companies that have been around for ages, the fact that, you know, like they find mine and they like what I did and want to repost it. Anyway, sorry, I was just giggling when that happened. Yeah, it really is, Durbin. It really, really is. My poor computer would just be so jam-packed. So imagine then if I did a full color through that's easily hours, right? I was so excited. Not just like how long it would take to process all of that, but the editing, because also when I do full-length video, people want annotations and everything, which means that every time I put a video up, they want to know, or, you know, every time I change pencils, they want to know. Like, we say it here in chat, but those annotations alone, like, triple the amount of time it would take. So big part of the reason that I just don't do videos anymore is because I just do not have the time to dedicate to all of the editing. Shorts are so much more digestible. I can post so much more regularly. And yeah, it's actually been really good for audience retention and reaching new followers. So that's been good. Editing doubles the resources, mental, physical time process. Yes, it takes forever, and the files are huge. They're just huge, and it's like, I don't want to lower the quality of the videos just so that it takes less space on the computer. So I was just like, you know what? I think this is what's going to work best for me. So, you know, we rolled with that. All right, so that was the cool gray 70%, and then we're gonna go back to the slate gray, right, Kara? Yeah, it was really cool to have them reach out like that. I was like, oh, like, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times I get emails from companies a lot. You're gonna see in real time. The process of filming in real time. Yes, 4 to 8 hours of footage, huge chunk of memory for editing and speed up. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I get, oh, hold on. No. Can we get an exclamation point bloop? B-L-O-O-P. I mean, I didn't let it fall to the page. All right, we're gonna sharpen this one again. We'll see. I'm trying to get as much life out of this pencil as I want. But yeah, I'll get you know, emails a lot like I did in the past about people who want to send. There we go. They want to send me products for videos, which is fine. But I just don't have the time to do it anymore. And so most of the time I say no. But you better believe when Derwent reached out, it's not like they're sending me anything, and they didn't ask for a full video. They just asked if they could reuse my stuff. Because most of the time I say, yeah, okay, I'll do it, but here is my price chart. Not gonna lie, when Derwent said, hey, can we use this? I'm like, absolutely. Just, you know that meme where it's you know, Futurama guy who's like, shut up and take my money? This was more of a, shut up and take my video. Like, yes, you may have it. You want any more? I got more, Derwent. That'd be like if Karen Dash like reached out and I'd be like, yes, please. Also, I mean, you can't have my firstborn, but is there anything else? Like, all I'm saying, Faber-Castell, were they to reach out, I'd be like, also, I'll buy you a puppy. Do you want my video and a puppy? You can have a puppy. Take some fun videos. I record them as time lapses. Then when I go to edit them, I just thread them all together in LumaFusion. See, there you go. Then I add my voice. I'm so bad at doing voiceover. Like, I don't feel comfortable with it. I cringe so hard when I watch it. So I can't watch my streams back unless I need to. Like, if there's like a major sound issue or something, like I can't do it. But yes, there are some art companies that, were they to reach out, I would bend over backwards to collaborate with them. We'll get to payment later. Like, they could probably afford to pay, but also I really want to work with them. So I was just like, yes, please. I will make a 15-hour long video and buy all the supplies myself. Please just love me. Is that desperate? Is that desperate? I'm just telling you, if Karen Dash were to reach out, I would probably act like a very desperate woman who hasn't been on a date in 182 years. Oh, I do audiobooks all the time too, Kim. Yeah. Got a good question from Eunice. She wanted to know how to use the pencil extender if it's still too big on both ends. Do you mean like... So there are some pencil extenders, where do I have it, that have different sizes on either end. So this one fits Prismacolor really well. This one would fit, I don't have any Karen Dash next to me, but this one is wide enough it would fit a Karen Dash. And after that, for this one, I have a wooden dowel. And I just, you know, the Prismacolors are flat on the end. It doesn't really work for a rounded pencil, but I just super glued the pencil to the end of the dowel, and I do it that way. Desperate but understandable. Exact. Thirsty. Yes, absolutely. Excuse me while I drool over this collaboration. Use a second device, make it easy. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. This one stops here. I want to make sure I have that marked out so I don't accidentally go over it. So we're going to be bringing in our white soon, so that we can get it to the color that we want it to be, and then we can darken it up how we need it to be after that. But yeah, some of the companies that I would freak out if they wanted to work with me would be Faber-Castell. Obviously, I already fangirled over Derwent. Karen Dash, like any of those big brands that have just been around forever. I might have burned the bridge with Staedtler already when I kind of like was super sad and like made this post about the ErgoSofts going away, but I'm still a firm believer that it was the power of the people that brought those back. But I think they probably already think I'm nuts, so I don't think that'll happen. But if Staedtler were to reach out, yeah, I'd be all about that. It's asking because I buy her a bunch of different ones, trying to find the right one that will hold her pencils, but for some reason none of them hold hers. What kind of pencils are you buying? Like, what's the brand? Because even these smaller ones, these would fit. Actually, I think Evelyn sent me these pencil extenders. So this one, that one is not a Derwent. But I think these are all just generic ones. There is a Derwent one that comes in a 2-pack. This is the larger one, and then it has a smaller one. But I think she just got these on Amazon. So this is what they look like if you want to, like, I don't know if a reverse image search would work for this right now because there's too much going on. But if you want, you could screenshot this real quick and then see if you can find matching pencil extenders. But yeah, these ones have 2 different sizes on both ends, but then it also comes with the skinnier ones. But definitely do the metal ones. I have one of the wood ones somewhere, but it's just kind of a pain. The one that's twisty are the nicest ones. Brother, I've had many writing book reviews on my iPad. Oh, see, that's awesome. I do that with like sound. I grew up in a big family and I don't like the quiet, which I'm sure isn't surprising to anyone at all. I don't like the quiet, and so like I'll have, if I'm on the rare moment that I find time to play video games, I will have an audiobook or a show on playing while I'm playing the video game, and then like the kids will come in talking to me. It's like at that point I'm like, okay, I got to turn something down here because I'm overstimulating myself. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the white now. I have white in this cup, but I also have like a whole cup of. You don't say. I know, right? It's so surprising. You know what's so funny though? Like, I used to be incredibly sociable, which again, no one is surprised. But I find these days, and maybe it's just because I'm creeping up on middle-aged and I don't people well, I don't enjoy like, you know, like one-on-one coffee with people as much anymore. Because I always end up like we're getting the conversation later. Like I spoke too much or I overshared, and then I spend the rest of the day thinking, why did I say that? I never should have said that. All right, we've got my Franken white pencil here, which has multiples glued together. So now we're going to start pressing a little bit harder. I'm going to be careful on these areas that don't have any paint on it yet, but we're going to start with the darker areas that we already have pencil on. And I'm not going super hard, but I am going hard-ish. I'm kind of careful how hard I'm pressing because I don't want to scrape that paint up if I can help it. But what this is also doing is it's smoothing out the pencil that we already put down. Okay, so we're going to carefully go to the top. And we're using the white on everything because we want to smooth this out, and then we will go back over to make sure that we don't lose that contrast because it still looks a little bit different. So we're going to be layering until we get a smoother look for where we covered up these stars. Because again, it's a cloud, it's white, and some of these star areas we'll be going over with paint anyway. And then I'm gonna outline with that cerulean blue where our sky is, so we make sure we don't lose anything. Because when you're working with such light colors, it's really easy to kind of lose your edges. And the thing of it is too, is because this paper is a little bit yellowish, the white actually stands out a little bit more than it normally would. All right. Didn't we have, I don't remember if I made a command for it, but it's that never give up, never surrender. We're going to use a pencil extender. Oh gosh, we came up with that one years ago, which is hilarious to say, or even just crazy to say we came up with it years ago, that we've been streaming that long. So like I said, you can still see the stars right now, but hopefully by the time we're done, with all of our layers and everything we're doing, it will kind of disappear. Because keep in mind, the sky is going to be darker. I'm just not going that dark yet because I need to find where I put my muted turquoise. And also maybe go get another muted turquoise. I just don't know where I said it. Yeah, I know. If only I put away my pencils, but meh. I don't want to do it. Nor her pencils either. Yeah, you'll sometimes get indents. The only times that I don't really use pencil extenders is when I have, let's see, where are my blenders? Well, anyway, my full Caran d'Ache blender, this one here, because it's softer, the tighter you do it, it breaks down, and so it ends up spinning. Yeah, the extenders will always leave marks, yeah. I definitely break them out because when we do pages like this where it's longer, it's easier on my hands, especially when I want to sharpen it. You still, unless it's super tight, you still have to take the pencil out of the extender to sharpen it, but that's part of the reasons why when it's this short, I like super gluing it onto the dowels. And it really is, it's just... I use the gel so it doesn't run everywhere, but I'll just take the dowel, or if I'm doing like pencil first, probably pencil first because it's the wider area. So take the pencil, you put like maybe a drop on there, and then I usually just hold it to it. Or what I did recently is because I shake, I mean, you guys can see it, like when I'm holding this, not doing it too much, but it's really hard for me to hold it still when I shake. So what actually I did the last time, because I had to glue a couple of them the other day, I'll take my kneaded eraser, and once it's glued and I know it's not going to move, I stick it in it to dry so that it's standing up. I think I just got them from the craft store, honestly, like Hobby Lobby. just go to like their raw wood section and you can usually get a package of dowels. This one is, so this is cut in half to make them last longer. I cut all the dowels in half. I might have even gotten these on Amazon. I had gotten these a while ago for a project for little Emily, like 4 years ago, and we didn't use all of them, so I just repurposed them. But they are about a little less than 1/4 of an inch across. But honestly, if you were to get 1/4 of an inch across, that would work perfect because you can just measure your, yeah. So the Prismacolors are about 1/4 of an inch across. So even if, a Minecraft sticker, I might have yoinked this from the kids' room. Even if it's a little bit wider, a little bit thinner, it works just fine. So, but I have found that it is the best way for me to get the absolute most out of my pencils. Okay. Like I said, these clouds will pop so much more once we get more of that sky done in the background. But for now, we're just adding our white, smoothing out our colors, and then we will redefine the edges a little bit. But this is going to give it that nice kind of smooth look to it. Yes, so what I did is I actually have, yeah, if you go to a wood shop, what did I use to cut these? I can't remember. I think I just have a handsaw that I did. But one of the other things that I do too, because like if I am needing to trim the pencil or the pencil isn't perfectly flat or I didn't cut this perfectly flat, this is actually one of those little sandpaper sharpeners that you just get at the craft store. It's a really rough grit, but it works. And that's why these marks are here, because I take it and I just go and smooth it down until it's done. So you don't need like major tools. But you could see, even if you could find some dowels that are shorter, this one, which has turned out to be the perfect length, is about 3 inches. So you could look for like 3-inch dowels and then no wider than the width of the, or, you know, similar to the width of the pencil. We do have a question, Emily. It's a little bit late because hubby came in to talk to me, but when you glue your sharp pencils together, are they durable if you press hard? So far, but I'm also cognizant of the fact that these are definitely going to be weak points. And so when I hold this, because I'm pressing kind of hard with this, so when I'm normally holding a pencil, right, and I'm like wanting to press harder, I definitely can feel where I'm putting, oh, it would be nice if you could see it. When I'm doing this, one, I try not to press too hard with Prismacolors at an angle because that's going to snap it anyway because it's softer. But if I were to choose where I put the pressure on most, it's going to be here with my fingers and then here where it rests in my hand, but also like here where it bends. So that's part of the reason why, now not this one because it's got a smooth end, a lot of these full blenders, I quite frequently snapped these in half because I was putting too much pressure. So I try to stay cognizant of that when I do this, because while super glue is great, and I haven't had too many of these snap apart. Where are my other? Problem is I take my drawers out all the time and then I don't put them back. I swear I'm only mildly chaotic. So when I do it, I try to stay cognizant. So it's hard to check. It absolutely is. I try to hold it. So like if I'm holding it back here, I know that this is going to put pressure on this joint here. So sometimes I'll try to hold it closer. And I just try to stay, you know, like I said, aware of it. But the other thing is too, is if I know I need to put pressure and I don't want it to snap, I'll hold it like this and put most of the pressure where I'm gripping it. You can see my fingers will turn away where I'm gripping it, and that's where I put it. So I just try to, wherever pressure is, I try not to put it on that. It'll press a little bit, but when I hold it up and down, I'm able to put more pressure and still not snap it. Like I said, I've done it to a few of them. Oh, and if you have full blenders, even if you sand either end of it, super glue does not hold 2 full blenders together. Just throwing that one out there. It does not. It's just not porous enough because the super glue kind of soaks into it. So yeah, I'm holding below where it's glued right now, and I'm trying to do minimal there. So I do more up and down pressure than I do when I hold it at its side. So yes, it can, but I just try to be careful. Now you can see here too where I've added the white, like it's starting to get it to kind of blend together on the edge. So it's not looking too off. I'm not liking this kind of sharp thing. So what I'll probably do is when I go in with the white, I'm just going to kind of mark for myself, hey, I want to round that out. And when I go in with my white paint, I'll round that out with it. Yeah, they're too waxy and slippery, yeah. You've glued your blenders? Your full blenders? How do you do it? Maybe I'm just too rough with mine. Because like I said, I do use a lot of pressure. So that could also be part of the problem, which wouldn't be surprising. Gel super glue from Loctite. Oh, am I using? Oh no, I guess I'm using Gorilla Glue. You know, I've heard good things about Loctite. I went through a point when I was, playing with that polymer clay. I was watching a lot of polymer clay artists, and they use Loctite for a lot of that. Maybe I need to change up the super glue I'm using. Yeah, because that one's the Gorilla Glue super glue. Does Loctite have a gel? I like the gel. Stop by Ace Hardware store to get some. Dow's and I get too small for things, etc. Yeah, and like I said, I've gotten a lot of money out of my pencils. I've got a 70% cool gray here somewhere that is just the tiniest little nubbin. I think I can still use it. Yes, this is my tiniest nubbin. Loctite over Gorilla, it works much better. Yes, they have a gel before they. Ooh, okay, yeah, I hadn't used the Loctite. So this is that one we're using. I have a really tiny indigo too, but this is my, I think 90% cool gray is what it is, and it's just a baby. So yeah, they don't get no retirement plan. I use them until they're nothing but dust. No retirement plan. The only pencils that I've really retired are my Caran d'Ache ones because they're rounded. So I need to like either sand them on the bottom to flatten them, but yeah. So it's a cleaner glue experience. Oh, good. Okay. A little paper pencil. Yeah. They get no retirement plan whatsoever. Sorry. Literally work them into a pulp. Just want to get my money's worth. Okay, we're almost done with this white. And then before we go in again with like contrasting colors for the clouds, I want to go in with a little bit more sky so we can show how that's going to pop. So let's grab our light cerulean. Right, for the price of them, they don't get a retirement. Gosh, that's how I'm feeling about Prismacolors. Like I said, I went in and got a couple of replacements. They used to be $1.29 for the replacements. They're friggin' $1.99 per pencil. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're not making a habit of this one. All right, so we're gonna go a little bit darker. I don't wanna do too much because the sky isn't gonna be super dark. Once the clouds are all done, it should pop enough by itself, but this is light enough that, yeah, theoretically. Maybe we'll go a little bit darker. Just a skosh. There we go. All right, so where these blue lines are, that's where the sky is gonna be. Like I said, as soon as I find that muted turquoise. So the sky will be, if you're like following along for a reason and want to catch up, the sky is going to be this light cerulean. It'll be the, or 210 each at Blick. But new colors are good too. That's what I'm saying. Like they way jacked up the prices on Prismacolors. At least open stock. It's not nearly as bad if you buy them, you know, full set, obviously. So it'll be this light, oh wait, that's Blue Sate. Did I mean to grab that? I'm even using the wrong one, you guys. What is wrong with me? Anyway, it will be, maybe we'll use Blue Slate. I don't know, but it'll be this kind of muted one. It will kind of work with this muted turquoise a little bit. I don't want them to just be like a super blue sky because that's going to contrast what's here. So, because it's almost like it'd be cool if this is like a zoomed in spyglass version of an owl in one of these trees, right? So it would be, you know, the muted turquoise in the background. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining it. All right, so I'm just gonna darken this a little bit. Add a little bit harsher lines, not a ton. This isn't so heavy that I can't like lighten it up with white later, but I don't want to accidentally color where there's meant to be cloud. Let's see, what do I have cloud there? Yes, I have cloud there. So that's going to go there. Yeah, a lot more material. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, so also because it's so white, I'm trying really hard not to use my hand to sweep this. All right, we're still a little blobby. We're not quite super defined. And let's get a little bit brighter. That's too dark. There we go. All right, so let's grab that. What is this? This is that 70% cool gray. And we're gonna go back in with that contrast here so we don't lose any of this. Okay, and I'm also gonna take this opportunity to redefine, not, you know, just kind of lumpiness all the way around, but redefine the shapes of some of the edges of these clouds. Okay, so let's see, we've got plenty here. We did this one. So basically that first layer and this just kind of smoothed everything out. And now we're kind of building up those final layers. I forgot about that one part there. So we'll probably use a little bit of white to cover up some of that color. That's why I love this Winsor Newton gouache. Like I will forever use it in all of my things now. Curve up a little bit that way. And I mean, it's not meant to be something that's fast. People are going to watch this back and be like, my God, it's taking so long on one cloud. And I would be like, well, you should just wait for the day where we spend all stream on 2 flowers and a single stick. We're doing great here. But in this particular instance, you have to take your time to build up the layers. Like what? It was 11:40 when we started really coloring. So, oh, it's afternoon already. Not 11:40, 10:40. So we've been going like an hour and a half on the clouds. But we're going to go. Shannon, are you streaming today? I think I would like to go until we finish the clouds. I don't want to leave these half done because then we can do the other clouds post stream. Okay, wait a minute. I shouldn't have extended that all the way out to there. That was the sky. Hang on. There we go. Fix that. Border for my page loosely based on your background. Oh, I'm so glad. Have you thought color pencil is a dry form of painting? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I think it's part of the reason, like the appeal for watercolor pencils too, because you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like you don't have to activate it with water if you don't want to, but you still get, you know, get the pencils plus the paint. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that sky, I already made that mistake once. Not likely? Okay. Was there anybody else that's, let's see, what's today? Today's Friday? Is Angela streaming tonight? Where is my schedule? I have my schedule here somewhere. Go figure. I don't know where I put it. I don't know what anybody's schedule is. I think I need to print myself out a new schedule. Okay, tonight Angela's at 8. Okay, cool. I think I have, is it exclamation point Angela or exclamation point True? I feel like it's exclamation point Angela. Anyway, exclamation point Angela. If you're not following me, Angela, you should be. She's going to stream tonight. Honestly, I'm lucky if I remembered if I brushed my teeth in the morning. Like my memory these days, I swear. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a little bit of that here. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit because I keep moving around. Hi, Kara. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm super particular about my color orders. The amount of time I spend, like, because what I'll do is I'll fill in the color chart and then I'll cut out the individual colors and then I'll rearrange the swatches until I like them in that order. Sometimes I have to be like, okay, we need to just let go on this one because I can't get it quite the way that I want it. But I was just like, all right, we just need to let it go. Hi, Kara, how are you? Right, and that's what it is. Like, I feel like I can choose my colors so much better when I can see their color families. All right, these clouds are coming along. All right, let's do some up here. There. Down. We're not doing a ton because this is the darkest color. We're going to go in with that slate gray here in a little bit. Okay, so that's the edge there. Let's bring this up a bit. Yes. Okay. So now we're going to do the slate gray. And I know we're not ending yet or anything, but just as a reminder, if you missed it, I'm going to plug myself here a little bit, a little toot toot. We have prints and original art and a new coloring page in the Etsy store. So grab them while you can. I'm not planning on reordering any more prints for this one. There's one more 8x10. There's 4 more of the small ones. So if you had your eye on it when I mentioned it before, now is the time. And then, yeah, there's a new coloring page as well. All right, so we're using that slate gray. What is it? Yeah, 936 slate gray. Thanks for that, Kenny. New coloring page is a little fairy pumpkin village. I think we can comfortably bring this up a bit. These clouds aren't always like perfectly white. Like you get the shapes because of the shadows that get brought up. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, this one. I'm gonna go eat something after this, but I don't know what. I've been on a watermelon kick lately, but I ate them all. Speaking of eating, I felt so bad last night. So every now and then I like to make, treats for the kids' lunches. So, they can have something different, mix it up. So this week I mixed up some cookie dough. It was gluten-free dough and everything, but I freeze a lot of it. So then throughout the week, I'll bake 1 or 2 or whatever, usually the night before, because if I bake them the morning of, they wouldn't have time to cool before it goes in their lunch boxes. Well, one of the cookies was allocated because there was like 1 left of the ones I had baked day before yesterday, and it was allocated for kiddo's lunch, and I wasn't thinking about it. And last night I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm doing good. I haven't had any cookies all day. There's this one sitting here. It's perfect. Anyway, I ate it. And it wasn't until later that I realized, like, nobody said anything. It was my own realization. I told Steve, I was just like, we were saving that last cookie for her lunch, aren't they? He's like, yep. And I'm like, oops. So we'll bake some more today. But I just felt really bad because I did it without even thinking. I was lost in the not the bloodlust, the cookie lust. It was sitting there taunting me. Like, I'm sorry, Cookie, I must have you. Freaking Cookie Monster down there, 11 o'clock at night, chomping on the last cookie. It was allocated for the kids' lunch. Don't mind me. Cool. Yeah, I figure out what I'm gonna make. I won't be eating a cookie, that's for sure, because now literally stole it out of my kids' lunch. Well, it wasn't in the lunch. It was in a container, ready to go in the kids' lunch. Anyway, it's quintessential mom move. You get lost in the cookie lust and you eat it before you even realize what you're doing. There you go, Angela. Our jammies, hey, I say go for it. It's funny, I have a pair of jammies that I really like. When we all got COVID, I had treated myself to a comfy pair of jammies because I was like, wow, everything sucks right now and I want to be comfy. Anyway, they're these cute jammies that are super comfy. Just gone from Walmart, nothing special. But I don't want to wear them like during the week because a lot of times I'm up late working or trying to get things done or, working on the kids' costumes or whatever. And needless to say, on the regular, I usually only get about 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night. And Steve was asking me the other day because he was, wondering why I wasn't, let's see, that's Sky, this is Cloud, why I wasn't wearing these jammies since he knows that I like them. And I was like, here's the deal. I don't want to wear them if I can only wear them for 5 or 6 hours. I want to save them for a Friday where I can get in them early in the evening and then sleep till 9 or 8, 9 or 10 o'clock or whatever, because dang it, I'm sleeping in. So I have special occasion jammies, ones that are worth sleeping in for. Oh, well, see, he opted for school lunch this week because he liked everything that was on the menu, so he gets his own treats at school. It just meant that she needed a different treat. You know what actually I want to get? I think periwinkle would be really perfect for this, unless it's already out. Let's get periwinkle. I don't use it very often. Let's see, that's Blue Lake. Periwinkle is number 1025. Do I have it out? Okay, that is Blue Slate. That's the light cerulean. Yeah, luxury pajamas. My Walmart clearance. They're just cozy. It's trying to allay your guilt. Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Too bad for me. Let's see. What did I say it was? Periwinkle is 1025. It's next to 936 and 10. Oh, 1025. Here it is. Yeah, periwinkle is going to be perfect for this. Okay, let's give it a quick sharpen. I am pleased with how they're coming along. I wasn't quite sure if they were going to turn out exactly how I wanted it, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. All right, so now we're going to do periwinkle. Okay, and we are going to fill more of that in. And actually, some of these stars still look a little bit blue, but it kind of works a little bit. We might get some gray and go over them just a bit. And there's nothing that says that you have to get rid of the stars either. Like, you absolutely don't have to. So yeah, we're using periwinkle. Let's bring it up here. So we're still going to use some white to blend this down just a bit. I'd say that I average usually about 3 layers when I'm doing something like this. I know, you're like, but you're making that one stand out. No, I need to have pencil in all the places. And these don't all have to be equally like white on top either. Like, I think I'm going to fill this one in a bit. Yeah, but I definitely had something in mind for how I wanted this to look. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, I think so. There we go. Okay, yes, that goes there. Sorry, I'm also trying to make sure I don't go into the places I allocated for sky. Yeah, I'm wearing jeans now. I mostly wear jeans if like I have to spend extended amounts of time in public, you know, if I got to go to a teacher meeting or whatever else. Massive amount of groceries, but for the most part, yeah, leggings. Leggings, man, they are my go-to. All right, let's grab that gray again. This is that 70% gray, and let's also grab, let's do cool gray 10%. Here we go, 10%. I just thought about grabbing silver, but nah, I don't think I will. We could get fancy and use our metallic blue on this one. That could be fun. All right, I'm going to use the 10% cool gray on the star just a bit. We'll go over that with white again, but that should help. Kind of help it disappear a little bit. It's a trust the process kind of situation. Okay, bit of gray. That's going to get blue. All right, let's go in with our 70. So I am too, to a certain degree. I don't like wearing, if I'm at home, I don't mind wearing like a normal t-shirt, like this one, like it just goes down to my hips. But if I am out and about, I prefer wearing like tunics or long shirts, just because, well, for a lack of a better way of putting it, I don't want no attention on my bum. So cover my bum. But that's just like my own thing. Like, I'm never going to judge anyone for like wearing like leggings with a crop top or whatever. Other email long. Kim, shoot me an email and let me know what your 2 screen names are and I can combine them. Yeah, I know that's why sometimes I settle for the $1.99 Prismacolors, because yeah. Because sometimes I just need 1 or 2 pencils and I can't justify spending, what is it, $65 or something to get the shipping? Okay, that's fancy. So yeah, I'll wear like tunics or longer shirts or whatever, especially like most of the time. If I'm wearing black leggings, I don't necessarily worry about it too much, but like I have a pair of like leggings that are like sap green light, and I'm sorry, it draws way too much attention to my bum. So long shirt for the sap green light leggings. Well, yes, but like, it's different when you're in leggings. There's not a whole lot left to the imagination, especially when they're light colored leggings. So no, I either need some like shadowed black or a long shirt. Always wearing tank tops and one pair of pants whenever I'm home. I always change clothes when I leave the house, put back on the house clothes. See, there you go. Just ordered from there this morning. Yeah, 65. So like if I can justify it, sure, but so it works when I have a shirt that complements it. But yes, if I'm wearing light colored leggings, yeah, I covered the bum. The bum cover. Oh boy, that one's one of the ones that's gonna live in our chat memories for we got strawberries and bum covers. You're good, Kim. I got you. All right, so we'll still just add some of this gray. Just about done with the gray, I think, though. So we're gonna go work on the white just a little bit more, and then we'll do one more light layer, and then I think the clouds will be done before we do the paint. Oh, flesh-colored leggings. And again, like, it's more of a, I guess, more power to you, and the confidence that I definitely don't have to do that, but yeah, if you have to take a double take about whether or not they're wearing pants, here's the thing, I had to do that. So if you, let's see, what am I doing? Blue slate? Yes. If you are familiar with the swimsuit trends now, they're very similar to what the 80s and 90s swimsuit trends were, where let's just say they're very not bum covering and quite a bit cheeky. I am almost 40. I will not be wearing a non-bum covered cheeky swimsuit. More power to them, you know, whatever, rock it. Definitely not for me. But I had a moment. I had a moment where I was walking near this area where it's a very popular swim area for the youngins. And she had a backpack on, and she had a backpack on and was just wearing her swimsuit with the backpack. Okay. Now I'm not gonna draw a visual aid because I don't know what YouTube will classify that with. But the best way I can describe it, okay? So she had her backpack on. It wasn't like a mini, like cute Percy backpack. Oh, thanks. Thanks. It wasn't like a cute little mini kind of purse backpack, right? It was a big school backpack. So her back was completely covered, and so was the upper half of her bum, okay? But she's wearing a swimsuit. No cover up, no pants with it, no nothing. But she's wearing a swimsuit because she's headed to go swimming. Again, I get it. But I was walking behind her, and no joke, you guys, because she had a swimsuit on and her very ultra cheeky bottom on, it literally looked like there was a fully, well, I think we could say it, a fully naked person walking down the side. I saw her, I didn't see the front of her, right? If I'd seen the front of her, I would have seen the suit. But the way the backpack was, and it was so large, you could not tell that she was wearing a swimsuit. And the swimsuit was all she was wearing. So I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I'm like, obviously, I'm not trying to stare, but I'm having to take triple, quadruple, and however many 5 takes are, because I could have swore that there was this 20-something walking naked down the road because I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, oh my God. Then she turned a corner and I saw she was wearing a swimsuit. I was like, oh, thank God. A pair of sweatpants with that. Yes, Allison, I saw. Did you read the comments? Oh my God. The placement of the pleats. Yes. I was just like, what? And it didn't come from like Target. And we're just like, I'm sorry, what? Who designed these pants? It was so, and it wasn't even like a large pleat that maybe like went all the way up to the waistband. It was like a partial pleat. Like, oh my gosh, the comment section was just, you don't, but it wasn't even like a standard pleat that goes up to the waistband. It was a short pleat, and it was just like, oh my. Oh my. Okay. All right. I think we're done with the clouds. So now we're gonna make sure we got more of that sky. Yes, it was a hoo-ha frame. Like, hello. I guess the next education class about that, they'll just bring the pants in and put it on a mannequin, I guess. So I catch my breath after we oh my gosh. Like, there was a gynecologist that commented and everything, and I was just like, oh boy. Oh boy. But thank God, like, she was aware of it. Can you imagine if you had left the house like that and like not been aware? Okay, so I'm just adding a little extra blue for the sky. The sky is not done. This is our placeholder blue. Okay, so now. Awesome, thanks. We're gonna go in with our white gouache again. This will be the last step for this. And then my goal will be to catch up on this before our next stream. Fingers crossed. That's what it was. Oh, it was something else. Talk about a visual aid. All right, so this is dried a little bit. I'm gonna get a little bit wet before we do this because I want. Let's go. I'm gonna poke it a little bit. Okay. There we go. Yes, it's hilarious. And I love that when she tries on the pants to show it, like she makes a point of showing like, hey, this is me putting on leggings, by the way, and then she shows it. All right, so we're gonna work from top to bottom. This part of the cloud up here will stand out more once the rest of the leaves are colored. So now we are just gonna go through so that we can have this kind of ultimate white highlight on the edge of the clouds. Yeah, if you see it, it's just like, oh my, was that intentional? Could have been intentional. I'm not entirely sure. You know what? I'm actually going to do a little bit of white where I have that shadow. But that's the nice thing. You can also always cover up the areas because it's not going to be like a perfectly straight line on the cloud either. It's going to go in a little bit. So this is where you can be a little creative with your cloud highlights. Also, keep in mind, once it dries, it's probably not going to be, it's going to be a little bit more see-through than this. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. You know, has anybody heard anything from it? Like, is TikTok still going away? Like, the White House made a TikTok account. So does that mean it's not going away? Like, I don't know. Like, should I be planning? Not that I get much traction on TikTok anyway, but it's just like, are we going? Are we staying? Like, I don't even know. But yeah, after that girl walked down the sidewalk, I was just like, well, if I ever wanted to know what it looked like, someone completely unafraid of air on themselves. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I'm like, well, that's what that looks like walking down the sidewalk. Oh, gosh. Oh, you found it. That's awesome. Yeah, because I keep hearing like all these different things, like it's going away, it's not going away. Like, I mean, I'm already on, Facebook and Instagram, and that's where I get most of my traction anyway. There was the small hope that like I could monetize TikTok before it went away again. And I've got the 10,000, but you have to have like 100,000 views in a 30 months time. And I just don't get that on TikTok. I got to wait for something else to go viral. Okay, so we have one of these stars here. I'm going to go ahead and cover up some of the blue that didn't go through all the way with some of the white. There we go. And like I said, it's really going to pop when we have the sky behind it. Of the air on their skin. Yeah, it's something like that. I'm glad. Buy the pleat pants. I know, right? Be like, get ready with me for coloring. I'm all ready except for my pants. Here we go. Well, you know, it's a deep of enough pleat. Maybe I could store pencils there, you know. It's a thing. Starting a new trend. That's cool. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm liking this. That's why I'm laughing. You can't use I'm wearing earbuds. Does he want to know? I mean, we got the, what are they called? The VJJ pants. Can we say VJJ on YouTube? Oh my gosh, if I get flagged, I'll know why. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down just a little bit. Okay, and we've got this one that went over. And like I said, I'll probably redefine some of these that kind of broke the frame when I add more color to it. Why, oh why? Yes, why are we laughing? No reason. But yes, I'm right there with you, Shannon. Like, flesh-colored leggings. Yeah, no, I'm good. Oh, thanks. Yeah, and it'll make it stand. And this, like, this is still wet too. So when it's fully dry, it won't be nearly as bright, but it'll add that last little, kind of little pop of brightness that we need. Because like I said, clouds aren't just white on the edge. They are white throughout, depending on, you know, where the sun is breaking through the clouds. And the cool thing is like, even if you're doing this, you feel like it's too much, you can always like tap it and like lift a little bit. Like, gouache is so versatile like this. With like acrylic, which would work well, but with acrylic, it's just not nearly as flexible for like fixing mistakes or anything. Yeah, so the blue pencil is here. So I'm trying to do like the edge of the clouds. Not all of the edges, but like this area here is going to be sky, sky, sky. All of this will be sky here. This little spot is sky. So yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's that plasticky kind of glossy feeling, and it makes it really hard to like go over it. If you're already putting the acrylic paint on top of pencil, the pencil acts as a layer, and sometimes you can kind of scrape it away. But that right there is just another reason why acrylic isn't good for, you know, blacking or, you know, whiting out lines, because it will just scrape off. Okay, we're going to do a little bit here because that'll be where sky is. Let's see, this is the edge of one. Yeah, acrylics can't be reactivated. Yeah, that's a big thing for it. Honestly, I am disappointed I didn't find gouache sooner. And that's really my own fault. You guys remember Laura? Well, I know some of you do. I remember she was doing a Kirby page in gouache, and it was just gorgeous. But like, that was where I learned how to even pronounce gouache. I really had no idea before that. And I didn't think too much. It wasn't until I like checked it out again on my own years later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense now. This is what she was talking about. And so I have a much bigger appreciation for everything she did with gouache as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. All right, we're gonna do some here. Like I said, the more water you add, the more, like, it's going to be less opaque because you're thinning it out. So if you want subtle white, water it down just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm liking this. Very fluffy. Very fluffy, fluffy. Let's see, let's cover that one up. So we've blended it pretty well, but I'm just using the white now to kind of help the stars to disappear just a little bit more. I'm gonna do a little bit there. Let's do some there. Is it done? I think it might be done. What do we think? I think I like it. Like I said, it's gonna look
once it has the sky with it, I think it's really going to work. So on the other side, I'm going to do similar clouds. However, they are not going to be equal. Like I'm going to have the clouds a little bit further down. The picture itself, the illustration itself is already symmetrical. So I don't want, like, that's why I didn't do the exact same tree combinations, right? They're different. So even these gaps in the trees, like I want it to all be different. So not going for symmetrical, but I will do clouds on the other side. Ah, thank you. Theoretically, yeah. Yeah. I know, I am having fun. Like more and more I've been coloring, you know, my own illustration. Accidentally printed it on regular paper, but more and more I've been coloring my own illustrations, and I am really enjoying the result. Speaking of which, quick little plug, if you missed it earlier, I've got prints and original art and new coloring page in the Etsy store. So if you got a hankering for some art, you can head on over there. So yeah. All right, well, what are we at? 12:39. Yeah, we went a little bit long today. I only have like 45 minutes to an hour before I got to leave the house to go do the afternoon run. So that'll give me time to decompress and eat a little food because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Anyway. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for now. We're not going to do words on stream because, well, I need to eat before I go get the kids. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. So my goal, get caught up for next stream. We'll see how the week plays out. That's a hope. At the very least, maybe not the border, but the clouds would be nice to get done. Anyway, but you saw how long that took. That was a couple hours solid. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Colored some clouds. Keep being awesome. And I'll see you in a week. Tonight, exclamation point Angela in chat. Tonight, Angela will be streaming, so be sure to check her out. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you soon. Bye.